Come on in, baby. Come on in. Good morning to some, afternoon to others. Let's go. Hey, Max. To the boogie, thank you for the paintbrush. Thank you for the makeup brush. Ooh, I needed some makeup today. Hey, Max to the boogie. Did you watch that movie? Ooh, I'm tired. No. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hi, vegan dolls. What did he up to? Ooh, baby. He just can't help himself. Ooh, do I have a song for that? Can't help himself. Can't help himself. He can't help himself. I ain't gonna go to work. You ain't gonna go to work? Well, you know what? You paid anyway. Yeah, no. You paid. New York, New York. But please watch it. I want that to be a discussion on how things can be so overwhelming that you really, really. It was a good movie. I ain't gonna even lie. I ain't gonna even lie. I honestly think that it was one of Tyler Perry's best movies. I'm not. Yeah, Tiana did okay. She did okay. She did okay. I ain't too sold on her acting. Now her dancing and choreography. Oh yes, she can go. She can go. But she was okay. She was okay. And I'm glad you mentioned Sinbad. I saw him popping up, but when I saw that old man in the beginning, it didn't dawn on me it was Sinbad. So shout out to Sinbad too. Shout out to Sinbad. Sherry Shepherd and Taraji. I've seen that type of acting from Taraji before. I want her to challenge her acting. I've seen her snap somewhere before. Uh, but it was overall, that was a good movie. Because I feel like people really do snap, crackle, and pop. And when we hear the straw that broke the camel's back, it was most definitely the straw. Respectfully, it was the straw. And people need to stop playing. People really do need to stop playing. People need to really stop playing with folk. That's all I'm going to say because you don't know. But let's get to the Diddy. If y'all haven't seen Straw on Netflix, go check it out. I pulled away from YouTube, this foolishness all the time, all day, every day, and watched it. And it took me 2 days, 2 attempts to watch it, but I'm glad I did. It was a good movie. Tearjerker for me. But you know AunTeaFee can be sensitive. With reality. Foolishness, no. Reality, yes. Understanding, yeah. Empathy, yes. Empathy, yes. And that's what Tiana Taylor provided for me. So that's why I had to back up off her acting skills for me. But she did good. But anyway, let's go, y'all. So Diddy, he always dangling in something, ain't he? If it ain't one thing, it's another. He can't help himself. He reminds me so much of Rkelly until it ain't funny. They gonna lie and manipulate, self-destruct to the end. I'm thinking about Rkelly's interview with Cking, and he was like, they should try to kill. Now they trying to kill him again. They trying to, no, dude. You had a bad fetish. You had an addiction, addiction that you didn't get treated. Y'all thought y'all were some type of god. Y'all made a deal with the industry. I'm gonna just say the industry devil. How about that? Is that better than just saying the devil? If there's a difference, let me just polish it up, you know. Make it look cute, you know. With the devil. Y'all made a deal with the devil. Let me see if I can change my background and put the devil up there. There it go. Hi, devil. Well, now you would be the demon. Y'all hit the like button coming in. But listen. So what done happened is he done here when his house was raided, or the plane, the jet, I don't know which one. God, let me take this out. That ain't my good ear, but I don't like it in my ear when I'm trying to talk to the people, you know. So he done hear the phone. He found this phone before his ass was arrested. Okay. And when he was supposed to turn over all the evidence to the feds, he kept it. Why you keep it? Why you keep it? You thought you was going to be able to use it at some point? You so funny, Max. You thought you was going to keep it so that you can have an aha moment that you was going to pop it out when you think it's going to work in your favor. Now, how it came up, I don't know. But all of these late starts, go home early, some evidence was introduced, and I guess the judge was giving y'all an opportunity to get y'all shit together, because it's about to get ugly. And this is why every time y'all try to do a mistrial, the judge saying, nope, all these tricks and shit, I ain't falling for it. I'm riding this bad baby out. Now, you can peel all you want to. You can let them figure that out on that end. But on this end, we going full throttle, baby. We going to ride that. Don't say that. I can't say that. We going to ride this thing out. Get up, get up, get up. I can't say that. I thought he liked to see females ride. Yeah, I ain't ate no breakfast just yet. I can't ride. Don't Genuine got a song about riding that pony. I can't ride. Anyway, judge said they gonna ride this thing out, baby. You ain't getting no mistrial from me. Yeah, and you tried to stir me down, and you tried to buck me. I let you slide again, because when they was talking about something, you was saying, you was doing it. You didn't look over there, but you was still nodding your head, trying to give that man in the back, number 6, that they trying to get that old ass on up out of there. They saying it's a man, a black man. And that Diddy and them saying, no, leave the brother there. We need the brother. We need the brother. Power to the brother. Power to the brother. You know these O's be trying to seduce us with that cat. You know these O's want the gold diggers. I ain't saying she a gold digger, cause she ain't broke messing with no broke. You know what I'm saying? You may not be a broke one, but you damn sure a freaky one. She fucking with a freak. Yeah, but that still don't give you no right to go past a no when she gives a no. She said, I know I'm a, but if I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. And you are coercing me, you are forcing me, you are dangling something that was supposed to be a gift over my head. Something that was supposed to be a business deal over my head. So Cassie was supposed to be business. And then she made you mad somewhere when she embarrassed you on MTV. Yeah, you said, oh, nah, she ain't gonna ever get a chance to do that to me no more. She can't ever not perform. And she's supposed to be a bad girl on Bad Boy Records. So you were supposed to do 10 albums worth of tricking and owing. You just didn't know it. See, he didn't come right out and tell you that. That's what pimps do. Romeo. You know, I could have gave you another, we could have ran with another one other than Romeo Imp, but you know, you think you Suave, you think you Ricky. Oh no, you like Rico. You like that guy. Baby, Tasha K said Rico. Baby, she said Rico was underpaid with that 5K. She said that thing. Ain't that a song, y'all? That thing. Ooh, now, boy, you know you better. She said that thing, baby. And he pretty on the eyes. And he fine. He wasn't there. I don't know what he looked like, baby, but I wasn't finna pay $12, $13, $14, $15 to see Ricky. And he done been holed out by Diddy. Oh, hell no. I wasn't supposed to say that. Baby, I'll wait till it come out somewhere just like that, Rkelly. Oh my God, I was eavesdropping. I can't eavesdrop. I was eavesdropping in school last night when I couldn't go to sleep. I don't know what I done. I cannot go to sleep at night. But anyway, I was eavesdropping. I was listening to some girl. Ooh, her voice sound familiar. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I ain't gonna say who she sound like because that's one of Max's friends. But anyway, she was, oh, and I don't know if that's her. I just don't want to say her name. Hey, Romaine. And whoever done said something ugly, I can't see it, baby. It's hell for review. And guess what? I ain't gonna review it. If you want me to see it, that bad, put it on the super chat, super sticker. If not, if YouTube is holding it for review, if it's some words that I don't put in there that I don't want y'all to see, if you want to bypass it, don't think somebody blocking you because they not. You got to put it on a super chat or a super sticker. How about that? Since you got something smart to say, put it on the super chat, super sticker. Yeah, let's see how bad you want me to know what you got to say. Troll harder on the super chat or super sticker. How about that? Hi, Tito. How about that? Anyway, yeah, so I was eavesdropping. And she was making every type of excuse in the world for Diddy. I mean, every type of excuse. And one of them, it was so crazy. I don't remember which one it is right now because I had to go off on the super chat, super stick. Baby, but I came, and I ain't never called in on old boy's platform. I don't even go in the chat. I don't even comment. Baby, but I was this close to going in there and saying stupid. Stupid. Sister, I'll call you back. Stupid. Retard. Slow. Slow bunny. Slow bunny. Have you lost your mind? I mean, she was making all stuff. Well, how will you know? Because some of the stuff he said, how we know the texts are real? Because it was in his possession. It was confiscated. What do you mean? I can't deal. I don't process stuff like that. And some of these people ain't lived long enough to see the half the time they done been played and they don't even realize it. It's killing me that these people are still saying that they in love. How can you make excuses for him? Hell, he himself said that what he did was wrong. She said, how do we know that he really jumped on Cassie at the hotel? This is types of crazy stuff this girl was saying. I said, ooh, why he apologized? Hell, I was ready for her to say, how we know he really apologized? I can't deal with people like that. How you don't know you slow? A slow bunny. Hey, Keisha. Yeah, life of God. Yeah, it's Diddy again. Put all questions on super chat, super stickers. I done told y'all that. Do I need to put it in the comment again? Don't ask me no questions unless you put it on super chat, super sticker. Especially if you asking me something about me. You may need to cash out the $AUNTEAFEE if you want to know something personal about me. Cash out me. Okay. Ain't nothing for free no more. Not like that. Yeah. You want to play? You want to play? You want to play? Cash out me. Let's see how much you want to play with me. I'm the GOAT over here. The GOAT, AunTeaFee. The GOAT. So listen. Let's listen. Let's listen. Since old girl last night was trying to talk about, no, it was in the morning. I bet Diddy lying Rkelly. I don't know. Why would Rkelly pop out now talking about let me out? Somebody trying to kill me. Ain't that what normally happens in prison? I'm not saying that there's not a conspiracy. But that's, you know, don't that happen in prison? Don't some people go in, walk in, and they carry them out in bags? It happens. You have unalived somebody's mental, physical, you done scarred them for life. Some people, the things that y'all have done are life sentences, emotionally and mentally. So, let me help you out, Ara. You ain't seen Laquita in a while, Keisha. They don't know nothing about Laquita. It's right by the time they meet Laquita. Listen, Ara. Listen, Ara. Let me tell you something. Stop begging for a pardon when you know that you've been doing that dirty, trifling stuff. Call Tiffany. Call Tiffany. she I don't know if she trying to be funny with me, but she better watch herself because she finna get liquida. And I'm going to send all them dirty ditties and danglings over there to her while she trying to pop her gums on the cool. She don't know. She don't know. Keisha, she don't know liquida. She don't know liquida. Little Tiffany. Yeah. Chili bowl head. Yeah. You better watch what you say. Because I had them coming over there to you. Yeah. Because you look like one. You and your. Oh, Keisha, she almost got it, did she? Y'all, let me go. Let me go. Rkelly. Ass, instead of begging to be pardoned for the dirty shit that you did. Yeah. Forcefully. Hey, chill. That Tiffany, she got Chivera in her name like yours. I don't know if she was trying to be funny, but she this close. She this close to me, Laquita. Because she knew over here. But Ira, instead of begging you, yeah, stop begging. You haven't apologized to the people that you have traumatized. See, y'all don't want to apologize. Y'all don't want to help people heal. Yeah. These people need a healing. Yeah, they need to know that you knew what you was doing when you did it. See. Now you can go off into what was done to you. Hurt people do hurt people. Pimp people do pimp people. Less the people sometimes do less people. Now you may wanna you may wanna go there, but just take ownership and apologize. And please don't say if I. Please don't say if I. You know you did. Anytime people start with that if I, they don't mean shit they finna say. They are not taking full responsibility for what they did. If I mean, get on up out my face. Come on out and say, I hurt you, I scarred you, I took advantage of you, and I'm sorry. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. I took advantage. I was lost in the sauce. I know other people in the industry did it, but I should not have. I was wrong. And I'm sorry. And you know, people gonna come back with, but you should have, I should have. You are absolutely right. And I failed you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's how you mean it, I'm sorry. All that if I, no, you know good and damn well what you did. Okay, let's move on. Because Rkelly, you don't get no sympathy, no empathy. If somebody coming after you, I don't care who it is. Stop singing, put the mic down, and pick up some weights. Get the little, swing in the air. Get you some rocks and some socks. Fill them bad babies up with something. I wasn't supposed to say that. Connie, you chase somebody for money and fame all the time. You may not go about it in that manner, and you may, I don't know. But people chase money all the time. When you apply for a job, do you want more money? When you perform and you do a good job, do you want more money? They ain't all wrong. They ain't all wrong. folk mama raised them to want things, want the best, do whatever. But it still don't mean somebody gonna force you, lie, and manipulate. Now let them play on you. Let them play on you and yours. Let let your daughter, niece, whoever, mama, go spend a night for a whole weekend in his jail cell. Since you believe in him. People want money all the time. Did you get a PP loan? Did you fudge the paperwork? Did you say you had more employees than you had? Did you even have employees before you filled out the paperwork? Did you lie on your taxes to get more back on your income taxes? Sit down. You don't want to play with me. You don't want to play with me. Yes, you did. You're a lie. Yes, you did. You're a lie. You are a liar. You just like Diddy. You just like Diddy. You don't want to face your truth. You're just as deceitful. You're just deceitful in other ways. You know how I know you're deceitful? Because you don't have no integrity. Because you on here lying and trying to protect a PDF file. PDF file. That's what they say, PDF file. So stop talking to me, because I'm gonna hurt your feelings. Just keep your comments to yourself. Keep your comments to yourself, or put it on a super chat or a super sticker. I done told you once, and that's all I'm gonna tell you. You right again, you out of here for today. Now test your luck. Test my gangster. Let's go. Test my gangster. Miss, yeah, let's go. Put it on the super chat, a super sticker. If not, shut up for today. There you go. I knew you would. I know you can't help yourself. You just like Diddy. You just like Diddy. You can't help yourself. I knew you was going to take the bait. I knew you was going to take the bait. Silly rabbit. Tricks off for kids. And I didn't even read it. I don't even care what it said. Like I said, put a super chat, a super sticker, especially if you think you're finna come for me over her. Girl, please, you done lost your mind. No, Nico, you can't pray for me. I don't know who you pray to. I'm good. Don't pray for me. You done lost your mind. Now, you sit in the corner for about 10, 15 minutes and think about what you done said. You can't pray for me. Use the client. Don't know. Hell, you mean. Hi, Andrew. You can't pray for me. You can't pray for me. If you believe Diddy, you dang sure can't pray for me. You believe that somebody who thought that they was signing a contract for 10 years and got manipulated, played into something. Yeah. Pamela. Yeah. You sit your ass in the corner too. You don't run nothing. I got my rules over here. Either you gonna follow them or you gonna hit the road, Jack. Okay? Troll somewhere else. Tread lightly, baby. Tread lightly. Okay, y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Because, baby, I ain't got not one cash app or super chat, super sticker. You don't run that over here. Now, you can go over to your platform and say and do whatever you want to. I ain't finna go back and forth with you. Okay. Are we good, everybody?
That he found in his house after the raids. Let me tell you, this is crazy. Every time we think we're done with the Diddy trial for the day, something interesting pops up on the docket. There was a motion put on the docket from the filter team who said that Diddy wanted a certain piece of evidence discluded from his trial. It all has to do with the phone that they never got when they raided Diddy's house. So the filter team said on September 16th of 2024, following the defendant's arrest, law enforcement executed another search warrant for the hotel hotel room that the defendant was occupying. It seized all the electronics in the room, including an iPhone 11 that was called Device 2. Following Device 2's seizure, law enforcement extracted Device 2, and they provided a copy of that extraction report to the filter team. Device 2 contained a message chain between the defendant and Staff 1, which included a string of text, audio, and picture messages that the defendant and Staff 1 exchanged on June 23rd of 2024, which was approximately 3 months after the searches of the defendant's residences. On June 23rd of 2024 at approximately 10:44 a.m., Diddy texted Staff 1 and said, "Call me back. It's important. Good news, I think." A few minutes later, at 10:47 a.m., Diddy sent Staff 1 a voice note, which was an audio recording. He was telling Staff 1 that another member of his staff, Staff 2, had located a cell phone in his residence, and that the device contained information regarding a woman who Diddy had previously been in a romantic relationship with, called female number 1. Diddy's exact words in this audio clip was, "I don't know how in the world, but all of a sudden this phone, Device 1, just came up we found in the house. It's from the time when me and female 1 went to the thing. There's got to be so much stuff on the hard drive of the phone. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to send you a picture of it so you can see and understand. Like, this could be a big breakthrough just because we didn't have the phone and this phone was just sitting there. And just data-wise, there has to be a lot of shit in that phone. I didn't delete nothing out of that phone. I'm going to send you a picture of it now." And then Diddy sent a photograph to Staff number 1, which was a photo of this device. But Staff 1 did not respond. And then approximately 6 hours later at 5:27 p.m., Diddy sent a text message to Staff 1. "Hey, are you okay? Just let me know you're safe." Approximately 2 minutes later at 5:29 p.m., Diddy sent another text to Staff 1 saying to have his lawyer, Tenny Garagos, call him. "I have a 911. Need Tenny to call this number ASAP, important in capital letters." Then a half an hour later at 7:08 p.m., Diddy texted Staff 1 again saying, "Send me Tenny's number. It's important. She needs to know now. I can't play these games right now. I need to speak to my lawyer and I don't have the number. Just send me the number, please. Like, I can't even understand why you're not sending me my lawyer's number. And I'm telling you, I have something majorly important that I have to speak with my lawyer about." And then finally, a minute later at approximately 7:09 p.m., Staff number 1 responded by sending Diddy Miss Garagos' phone number. And then Diddy responded with the prayer hands emoji. And then the filter team says, based on conversations with the defense counsel, they understand that Diddy is claiming that all of these messages are protected by attorney-client privilege. And this is why the filter team put in this motion, because they are saying that Diddy does not want this used in court against him. But they're saying this has nothing about attorney-client privilege. He was literally talking to a staff member.
So he manipulated.
The filter team sent in this motion. They're saying Diddy doesn't.
So he lying and manipulating. Here we go. How is it client attorney privilege when it's him and he's sending it to Christina? So now Christina his attorney. Client, your assistant. See how he manipulate, how he switch it. And folks still believe in him. Okay, let's go.
Want this used, but we didn't send the government. Sending Diddy, "I can't play these games right now. I need to speak to my lawyer and I don't have the number. Just send me the number, please. Like, I can't even understand why you're not sending me my lawyer's number. And I'm telling you, I have something majorly important that I have to speak with my lawyer about." And then finally, a minute later at approximately 7:09 p.m., Staff number 1 responded by sending Diddy Miss Garagos' phone number. And then Diddy responded with the prayer hands emoji. And then the filter team says, based on conversations with the defense counsel, they understand that Diddy is claiming that all of these messages are protected by attorney-client privilege. And this is why the filter team put in this motion, because they are saying that Diddy does not want this used in court against him. But they're saying this has nothing about attorney-client privilege. He was literally talking to a staff member. So this is why the filter team sent in this motion. They're saying Diddy doesn't want this used, but we didn't send the government any conversations between him and his attorney. Only gave him these messages talking to his staff, not his attorney, to be used against him, and basically saying that Diddy's argument here makes no sense. Now, in this motion, they're saying that the staff number 1 is a female and worked as a top assistant for Diddy in this motion. So I'm assuming that this was probably Christina Korm. That's just my opinion. I really do think it's Christina Korm because we know that the very last time that we saw Christina Korm with Diddy was when his houses were raided. They stopped Diddy, Christina Korm, and others at the Miami airport to raid Diddy's jet. We also just learned when they raided Diddy's airplane, they also confiscated Christina Korm's phone, which they found evidence in. And then boom, after this is when she went ghost. She was deleting all of her social media accounts. You still cannot find her. And this female just so happened to not be texting Diddy back for hours. Like, he was repeatedly texting this person, saying, I don't have time to play games, and then they just finally send the number, and that's it. I don't know. It's pretty weird to me, but y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Okay, there's been a update since then.
And substance. In the GM.
There has been an update. She does have a
Cassie Ventura filed her lawsuit November 16th of 2023, and Diddy's phone call to victim number 2, who goes by the pseudonym Jane, after Cassie Ventura's lawsuit was filed, was just released. And let me tell you, this transcript of this phone call is crazy, and this call was placed 3 days after Cassie's lawsuit was public, and it was going very viral in the media. And you can tell exactly what Diddy was doing, so let's get into it. Cassie Ventura filed her lawsuit November 16th of 2023, and this phone call happened November 19th of 2023. Jane answers the phone and says hello. Diddy says hello. Hey, I really need your friendship right now.
Oh, Lord.
And that's it. I can't even talk on the phone. Like, please don't send no text or do nothing. People misread it. Shit, I don't know what the F, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I'm just saying, I need your friendship right now, baby. I'm calling you back just to make sure you're breathing. I gotta go. I can't even, yeah, I know, you can't talk, but I need you. Yeah, I know, I need you too. I'm just so effed up, twisted, yeah, I'm gonna, listen, I just need to tell you that I need your friendship. You know what I'm saying? And if you need me too, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. I mean, you know you ain't gotta worry about nothing, you feel me? All right, hello? Yeah. Just in bed. Okay, baby, I gotta go. My mom's just walking up on me. You know what I'm saying? I just know you know what I'm saying. Please pray for me. I'm gonna be praying for you. But just know that I called you back. I need your friendship. That's it, all right? Okay. All right, bye. And this ain't it, because Diddy calls her once again. Jane answers and says hello. Hello. Jane says something that we're not sure exactly what she said. Baby, you know I'm sorry you feel this way. You know what I'm saying? You know I can't really talk on these phones, you know? I mean, what do you want me to do to make you feel better, baby? Because Jane says something again that we're unsure of what she said. Diddy says, I know, I called, I reached out. I called you and reached out to you. You know what I'm saying? I needed you. I'm sorry that you're feeling this way. I swear to you, you know what I'm saying? My love was definitely true. You know what I'm saying? We just some kinky that I thought that we both, you know what I'm saying, enjoy. But I'm at this, where I'm at this point right now with my family and my kids and my girls. You know what I'm saying? And everything that's going on. I just don't want you to feel this way. I'm just trying to mother effing, stop all this madness. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to be feeling this way. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I'm not even
Lord.
supposed to be talking on the phone. Diddy says, you know what I'm saying? One more time, I'm about to flip.
Me too.
And says, I can't even. I don't know. It's just, I don't know what I'm feeling. What developed in me? I've been crying for like 3 days. I can't even sleep. Just reading all that. It's just so like word for word. Word for word is crazy to me. It just feels sick. Like it just feels sick in my soul, you know? Yeah, but you know me. Like how are you just gonna erase? Like you know me. This is when I need you to be there for me. You know me. You know what I'm saying? You know we did all that shit together. Who's there for me? Like who's there for me when I close my eyes and I have all these effed up things in my head? All right. Who's there to take this out of my head and my heart? Like, you know, like and feeling manipulated. Like, what do I do with that feeling? Who's there for me? Who's like, I've been just privately fighting this for 3 years, just like confused. Everything we did was mutually together. Like, I don't, you know, I can't go back. I'm trying to be there for you. I've called you before these days. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, okay? I don't know. It's effed up. I'm just effed up right now. I'm just effed up. I can't explain it. It's just so bothersome. I'm here to help you. You know what I'm saying? Try and breathe, okay? How can I be there for you? And when you know I can't be on these phones and shit like that, you feel me? I'm asking you. I don't know. It's just like I feel hypnotized. Let's get through this together. I mean, come on. Like, let's, you know, let's get through this together. We gotta be. This is something that we was effing, having some kinky fun together. Let's not, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know that's how you see it, but it's just like, I'm gonna let you. I think you need to get some rest. Have you been up all night? I've been up for 3 days. Me too. I think you need to get some rest. Can you please try to get some rest? Yeah. Please? I'm just gonna pray and I'm gonna try to sleep. I'll talk to ya. Huh? Said I'm gonna pray and I'm gonna try to get some sleep. I'm gonna pray too. Pray for me. Can you call KK if you need me? Because I can't even be on the phone. I just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know that's how you saw things, but you just know that's not how I saw things. And I just want you to know that. You just what? I said I just want you to know that. Like, I know that's how you saw things. What are you doing? Are you recording me? What are you talking about? What do you mean? I'm in the bathtub, like literally on the ground talking to you. I would never do that. Do you know how long it even took me to write that to you? Like, I didn't even know if I should be writing that to you. Baby, this is what I think is best. You know what I'm saying? That you get some rest. You know what I'm saying? Just the timing of things. Like, just think about it. Just think how crazy. It feels chilling that just last week I was telling you, baby, I can't. I can't be talking on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Please. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And what God is telling me right now, you know? You said what? I said it's just crazy that I was just saying all of this. Hey, it's come on. What you doing is not right, man. I mean, hold on. I don't really want to go down that road. I just know that I know that everything we did. You even brought me a videotape so we could look at what we did. You cannot. Please don't get angry at me. You know what I'm saying? And I just can't. I know I can't talk on this phone. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what the F is going on in the world right now. I know you can't talk. You get some sleep and then call KK, please, baby. You had just bought me this video thing. You know what I'm saying? For my birthday. Like, we fighting right now. I need your support, you know? Please, as a friend, please. For the good times we've been through, please. I need your support and I'm here for you. I'm here for you to support you. Yeah. Okay? If you need anything else, call KK. You know I'm dealing with, like, alright? Okay. Alright, so you're gonna call KK, right? I'm okay. I just need to get some sleep. Okay, can you call KK after you sleep? Okay. And if you need anything, just call. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah, alright. Bye. Bye. Ain't gonna lie, this is a very damning piece of evidence because we know at this point, Jane was still on Diddy's team. She didn't even meet with the government till a year after this conversation. But y'all, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Hold on, it's something else done popped off. Hold this one right here.
The defense in the Sean Diddy Combs trial is finishing cross-examination of one of the rapper's ex-girlfriends. But first, the judge called a private meeting with the prosecution, defense, and lawyer for the woman testifying as Jane. Yesterday, defense attorneys tried to use Jane's own text messages to show she willingly took part in Combs' sex life and is not the victim of force or coercion. At one point, she cried so hard on the witness stand she couldn't even finish reading those texts. Now the prosecution says they expect to rest their case next week. Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges. ABC's Rena Roy and legal contributor, criminal defense attorney Shauna Lloyd are outside that courthouse. So Rita, what's the latest on this private meeting?
Well, Diane, we know that there were several issues discussed behind closed doors, and that one of them involved whether or not non-alleged victims who take the stand can use pseudonyms. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilo argued that they should go on the record with their real name so that when someone hears about testimony who's outside of the trial and they might have information about that testimony, that they can come forward and offer to testify. And they were specifically discussing an issue from 2024 when Jane testified that she flew to Las Vegas with a friend of hers who's a famous rapper and then went to a hotel room where she saw a male escort named Anton having sex with a woman while that rapper and his girlfriend watched. She testified that that escort was somebody that she previously had a hotel night with along with Combs. The prosecution, though, wants to keep those pseudonyms, and they say that sufficient information about that event specifically and about Jane have been disclosed. Diane.
Shauna, what does this mean for the trial going forward?
What this means going forward is essentially the defense is lodging this idea. Trials are supposed to be public. They are open to everyone to come and see. And the reason historically has been so that information can be gotten from anyone who knows about it. Now, they're arguing that this is an infringement on Jane's privacy because these are people that she's connected to and events that she participated in. The defense is rebutting that, though. They want these names to be public because what they're saying is if there is some information out there that could either be used to impeach her or discredit some of the testimony that is being given, that they want those people to come forward. So this could change the dynamic and the credibility of her if they come forward.
Shauna, the prosecution said yesterday they expect to rest the case next week, Wednesday or Friday, depending, but by Friday they say. What are you watching for as the defense starts calling witnesses?
So what I'm expecting for when the prosecution wraps up is someone to bring it all together. There's either going to be a personal assistant, a bodyguard, or someone who's going to bring all of these events together. For the defense, I expect that they're going to bring forth witnesses that are going to rebut everything that we've heard. They're going to either be witnesses that have seen firsthand and have a different point of view, or witnesses that can impeach any of the testimony that's been given, so that way they start and increase that reasonable doubt that they are looking for.
All right, Rena Roy, Shauna Lloyd, thank you both. And for more on the Combs trial, catch the ABC News Live show Burden of Proof, the case against Diddy, every night after the trial at 5:30 p.m. Eastern.
Stephanie Moore.
Party and what she was doing. I don't know who this rapper is. Can speculate. I don't know who it is, but
Okay, so look at here. It's almost 200 people in here. I need for y'all to hit the like button. Double tap the screen. Hit the likes up. If you are on your phone, if you're on your computer, hit the thumbs up. But get the likes up, because Laquita will shut it down. Let's go. You've been warned. Hi, it's Gariel. Hello. Thanks for speaking.
you think it's enough for this rapper to be called to the stand? Probably not, right?
Well, if the defense made an issue out of it, it was
Get the likes up, y'all.
That essentially she felt she was pressured into these hotel nights with Sean Combs, these elaborate, prolonged sexual episodes with male sex workers, male performers, while Sean Combs watched, pleasured himself, that she did this to, help to, because this is what her lover wanted. The question is, was force, fraud, or coercion used? Was this sex trafficking? She talked about Sean Combs beat
By
her
law.
up and then essentially forcing
Whether
her to
people like it or
engage
not.
in one of these hotel nights afterwards. She just discussed how she was induced into doing this even after she was sick and exhausted, that these were prolonged 30-hour events. However, on cross-examination of the last several days, the question becomes, was she a willing participant? Did she really express her reluctance to this? You know, let's talk about what happened with the cross-examination today. This is by Tenny Garagos, one of Sean Combs' defense attorneys. There was a text that she was presented with where she goes, I feel as your lover, I wanted to please you and I pushed through. There were claims that she bought a TV so they could watch their movies together, you know, really focusing on the love, how she wanted to be with him, how she didn't want to break up with him, how she wanted to cuddle with him. I'll tell you where it's really getting interesting today. Her behavior and his behavior after Cassie Ventura filed her lawsuit in November of 2023, because she said when she found this out, she said, now you have another woman who's going through the same experiences as me. She said that this changed Sean Combs' behavior. He was down. There had been a sense of resentment, but he also became much more loving towards her. She also testified that when the video came out, the 2016 video of him appearing to beat up Cassandra Ventura, she said it was a very difficult time for Sean Combs, that she had never seen him act like that before. So you kind of see a strain in the relationship, but she still was with him even after this. So it's a complicated bag to try to understand what is really going on and what this relationship was about. And I will tell you, one of the things the jury may consider are voice notes. Voice notes that were played in this courtroom. Voice notes that were sent by Sean Combs to Jane. If we have one of them up, let's just play it and we'll talk about it on the other side. All right, we don't have it yet. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring in my all-star panel. And by the way, I'm not going to be answering your questions for the next hour, hour and a half. I know you have questions. Submit them on YouTube about what's happening in testimony today, what's happening in this trial in general. I'm going to bring in my all-star panel, too. We have with us former state attorney from Palm Beach County, Florida, Dave Arenberg, criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor, Safa Robinson-Frere, and with me in studio, Rich Schoenstein, our litigator on hand. It's great. Look at these guys. Look at this all-star panel I have with me. Okay, we're going to take your questions. Rich, I'll start with you because you're in the studio. Okay. This is interesting. This is a question from Skibone21. I've heard about this hotel receipt as opposing evidence to Brianna Bungolan. Brianna Bungolan had testified that Sean Combs dangled her off a 17-story balcony in L.A. Is there other corresponding evidence for Diddy actually being at the hotel? So I guess the question becomes, you know, she had the weaker testimony for the prosecution. They presented evidence, you know, that he was in the West Coast. They presented receipts of his breakfast, his travel records, basically say he can't be in two places at the same time. Did this balcony attack happen when you said it happened? What do you think was the support?
You absolutely can do it, be in two places at one time.
Don't know the evidence on the specific attack well enough to tell you. I do think if this case was just about the attack on the balcony, they would have a problem of proof beyond a reasonable doubt, given this hiccup about where he was actually, was he even in the state? I do think that's a problem on that claim, but I also think part of that claim is that Cassie was aware of it. And whether or not she heard about it and believed it was true and felt
this is what happens when you use an alias.
It's actually a separate question from whether or not it actually happened. So it still might be a live issue in the case, even if you're not sure it happened.
And I think there is a message that the jury will see from Cassie to, I believe it's Christina Courtroom, who, by the way, is apparently not going to be testifying. I mean, there's been no indication that she's going to be testifying. We kind of got an idea about who the next witnesses are. She's not on the list. Shocker to me because she's come up so many times. But anyway, I think there's a message from Cassie to Christina Courtroom where she talks about this happening. It does become a question, did she see it with her own eyes? Okay.
So now is if you saw it with your own eyes. I thought he didn't do it. He did do it. The days may be off. It was years ago, but it happened. And let's clear this up. Can you be at two places at one time? Normal people know. Diddy, yes. But hell, was it Diddy? He used the alias. One time, sometimes he used Frank Black. Sometimes he uses Frank White. But the problem is that we have already uncovered previously by his assistants that sometimes he scheduled freak-offs and it don't be for him under his name, right? Did we forget? He scheduled freak-offs for other celebrities. And sometimes he scheduled freak-offs or he pays for hotel freak-offs and he leaves. So yeah, he can be at more than one place at one time, especially if he is having someone, his assistants, book these stays. Yeah. Let's not forget, and AunTeaFee don't forget none of that. So yes, he can manipulate the system. Especially when KK is booking them, coming in, setting it up with the red lights and all of that there. Yeah. So pull the video. Did he ever, that week, around that time, the 28th through the 30th, did he walk through those doors? Let's go.
So we have this voice note up. Let's play it. Again, this is from Sean Combs to Jane.
Hey, baby, we had a great time. Stay in the light. It's all good. Get your rest. You are the crack pipe. That's my new name for you, crack pipe. Or should I call you CP? But,
oh,
yeah,
wow.
I want you to stay in the light. You know what I'm saying? We had a very, very good time together. Like, so much fun. So much fun. Now go rest up. Get in your bag. You know what I'm saying? Got your contract. Find a nice little spot. Put your mind at ease. And, yeah, I had a great time. And I really, really want you to get some rest.
Like I said last night, what's in the contract? What was the terms of the contract? He just said they had a contract. So was it business? She thought she had a boyfriend initially. 2023, business. They made it a business. They have a love contract. What was the terms of the contract? Why no one is asking that? Huh? Dan, contracts. Exactly. There you go, Dan. He said he said find a nice little spot, didn't he? You got your contract now. Find you a nice 2-year contract. We're gonna do this for 2 years. Get you on your feet. Cause now she talking about he dangling some over her head and she has to pay it back. So they went in business together. Oh, okay. But initially, that was her boyfriend. And he wasn't paying her rent. He didn't start paying her rent till 2023 when they signed this contract. Let's go.
So I didn't know about you throwing up and all that. That's when I was like, hold up a second. All right, get some rest, baby.
Did this balcony attack happen? When you said it happened, what do you think was the support for this attack happening?
I don't know the evidence on the specific attack well enough to tell you. I do think if this case was just about the attack on the balcony, they would have a problem of proof beyond a reasonable doubt, given this hiccup about where he was actually, was he even in the state? I do think that's a problem on that claim, but I also think part of that claim is that Cassie was aware of it. And whether or not she heard about it and believed it was true and felt intimidated by it is actually a separate question from whether or not it actually happened. So it still might be a live issue in the case, even if you're not sure it happened.
And I think there was a message that the jury will see from Cassie to, I believe it's Christina Courtroom, who, by the way, is apparently not going to be testifying. I mean, there's been no indication that she's going to be testifying. We kind of got an idea about who the next witnesses are. She's not on the list. Shocker to me, because she's come up so many times. But anyway, I think there's a message from Cassie to Christina Courtroom where she talks about this happening. It does become a question, did she see it with her own eyes? Okay, so we have this voice note up. Let's play it. Again, this is from Sean Combs to Jane.
Hey, baby, we had a great time. Stay in the light. It's all good. Get your rest. You are the crack pipe. That's my new name for you, crack pipe. Or should I call you CP? But, yeah, I want you to stay in the light. You know what I'm saying? We had a very, very good time together. Like, so much fun. Now go rest up, get in your bag. You know what I'm saying? Got your contract, find a nice little spot, put your mind at ease. And, yeah, I had a great time. And I really, really want you to get some rest. I didn't know about you throwing up and all that. That's when I was like, hold up a second. All right, get some rest, baby. Love.
Now, Safa, it's interesting because she claims, I don't know if this is the same event, but she had claimed at one point she had thrown up, and he basically was like, that's good that you thrown up. Now we can get the third guy in here, and she apparently had performed sex acts with this third guy. What do you take away from that voice note? What do you think the relevance is for the prosecution or the defense?
You know, first and foremost, I think that this voice note, more importantly, humanizes Mr. Combs. It really gives the jury insight into hearing his speaking and communication with Jane Doe, how they typically communicate. You know, it sounds to me, based on this voice note, that he's incredibly loving towards her, supportive towards her, and things of that nature, which will certainly be favorable to the defense. Now, from the prosecution's perspective, I think that this voice note would somewhat corroborate whatever possible freak-off that they're alleging occurred, specifically when Jane Doe testifies that at some point she had thrown up. This kind of negates it, because him in the note, he's saying, I didn't know that you threw up. Or then he maybe became aware of it later.
I thought he didn't do it. I thought his diehard fans said that he wasn't doing no sex out.
Maybe continue. There may be a question about that. But I think that this completes the narrative, or continues to complete the narrative for the prosecution, that these sexual acts were taking place, that she was tired, that, you know, she may have had a great time, and he's continuing to affirm her in participating in this activity, having a great time, and things of that nature. But I think this voice note actually could go both sides, but I think there's certainly a benefit for Mr. Combs' sake with respect to actually humanizing him and showing him as a loving individual in front of the jury to an extent. And then we hear reference to the contract which was given, which Jane Doe testified to prior, that this love contract that they came into. So I think that testimony, or this voice note, also affirms that.
So we have a super chat question from Tony Tokes, and I'm not entirely sure the answer of it or what it means, but that's why we got Dave Arenberg. Dave Arenberg knows all, doesn't he? This is a super chat question. Tony, thank you so much. Did you hear about the hidden phone? Thoughts? Now, I don't know if this is about a phone from Diddy or post they presented receipt.
Or the defense that you just, you know.
Become a question, did she see it with her own eyes? Okay, so we have this voice note up. Let's play it. Again, this is from Sean Combs to Jane.
Hey, baby, we had a great time. Stay in the light. It's all good. Get your rest. You are the crack pipe. That's my new name for you, crack pipe. I should call you CP. But, yeah, I want you to stay in the light. You know what I'm saying? We had a very, very good time together. Like, so much fun. Now go rest up, get in your bag. You know what I'm saying? Got your contract, find a nice little spot, put your mind at ease. And, yeah, I had a great time. And I really, really want you to get some rest. I didn't know about you throwing up and all that. That's when I was like, hold up.
So she had to
All
do
right, get some rest, baby. Love.
3 guys to get that 10
Now,
grand.
Safa, it's interesting because she claims, I don't know if this is the same event, but she had claimed at one point she had thrown up, and he basically was like, that's good that you thrown up. Now we can get the third guy in here, and she...
So
before
this situation, she was not getting paid. She was not getting 10 grand.
For the prosecution or the defense.
She didn't get that into the
First and
contract.
foremost, I think that this voice note, more importantly, humanizes Mr. Combs. It really gives the jury insight into hearing his speaking and communication with Jane Doe, how they typically communicate. You know, it sounds to me based on this voice note that he's incredibly loving.
It don't matter if you hold a gun to their head or not. It's against the law, and he's going to prison.
To the defense. Now, from the prosecution's perspective,
again, I see why a lot of y'all got records. I see why a lot of y'all got prison records. You don't have to hold a gun to their head. That's why he couldn't bond out with 500 million. And dumbass, you couldn't bond out at all because you don't even have a dime. So you try it and see how it work out for you. You don't have to hold a gun to somebody's head in order to pull them into XXX trafficking. But you simple-minded, see, you don't get it. That's why, again, a lot of y'all go to prison. Yeah.
Possible freak off that they're alleging occurred, specifically when Jane Doe testifies that at some point she had thrown up. This kind of negates it because him in the note, he's saying, I didn't know that you threw up. Or then he maybe became aware of it later. So the testimony that I believe she gave that indicated, well,
yes,
he
he chose to go to prison.
It made me continue. There
and
may
he
be
chose
a
to go
question
to
about
prison.
that. But I think that this completes the narrative, or continues to complete the narrative for the prosecution that these sexual acts were taking place, that she was tired.
That's why the man act is in place,
you know,
for people like you who think like you.
And he's continuing to affirm her in participating in this activity and having a great time and things of that nature. But I think this voice note actually could go to benefit both sides, but I think there's certainly a benefit for Mr. Combs' sake with respect to actually humanizing him and showing him as a loving individual in front of the jury to an extent. And then we hear reference to the contract which was given, which Jane Doe testified to prior, that this love contract that they
love contract. So there we go again. I am so glad that there is laws in place for pimp-minded people who thinks that it's okay. People have a choice. I'm so glad that the law don't agree with you. I am so glad that the law does not agree with your pimpish mindset, Tony Lewis. Yeah. It's because you're giving me the EBGBs, you making me think that you are a PDF file. I'm finna remove you. Because you're making me think you're trying to pimp somebody in my chat on the cool. Since you're talking about people have a choice. No, that's not what the law say. The law says you cannot, you cannot manipulate, you cannot coerce, you cannot dangle. Yeah, you don't have a choice when you have a pimp who has groomed you. How about that? The law gonna think for you. That's why he couldn't bond out. Okay, so because I think you trying to pimp in my chat on the cool, you come back another day respectfully. No, you don't have a choice. I'm going to make that choice for you. And I'm going to send you on about your way today. How about that? You don't have a choice, Tony Lewis. You don't have a choice. How about that? How about that? You don't have a choice. I'm the law over here. And right now, you breaking the law over here. Don't be trying to pimp in my comments on the cool. No. And hit my like button before I remove you too. Okay? No pimps allowed.
Dave Ehrenberg knows all, doesn't he? This is a super chat question. Tony, thank you so much. Did you hear about the hidden phone? Thoughts. Now, I don't know if this is about a phone from Diddy or from Jane? I don't know what this might be about. Did you hear anything about a hidden phone? And if not, we'll try to look it up.
Boy, Jesse, the buildup that I know everything, and it's just a letdown. I don't know about the hidden phone. We need to look that up, and I'm gonna Google it right now. I'll have an answer for you.
We'll put that to the side. We'll come back to that question. I'll throw a different question at you. This is from Shop Girl, who's been so generous with her questions as we've been doing these live shows, which, by the way, we plan to do every single day of this case. Jesse, did the defense bringing the rapper and his wife, whose birthday is in January, into play, open it up for the prosecution to call the rapper to the stand? That became a big point during cross-examination today about her attending this party and what she was doing. I don't know who this rapper is. Can speculate. I don't know who it is, but you think it's enough for this rapper to be called to the stand? Probably not, right?
Well, if the defense made an issue out of it and was referring to it, then that would open the door to the prosecution to pursue that and call this rapper to the stand. So it just depends on the context and what was said, how much the defense depended on it. But that's always a big warning for the defense, that you're throwing everything against the wall, hoping it sticks, but then you unintentionally open the door for more evidence. I mean, I always thought that the reason why KK was not testifying in the prosecution's case was because they were going to use her as a potential rebuttal witness, to be like a warning to the defense, saying, be careful what you say. We got the woman who knows where all the bodies are buried, metaphorically speaking, of course, ready to go to contradict and rebut anything you put on.
Yeah, it was apparently one of these sex workers was at a dinner for the birthday of the rapper's wife, and apparently they were asked, does anybody else, if Jane knew anybody else in the lifestyle. I wonder, Safa, are they trying to normalize it? Are they trying to say, this might be odd, this might be strange, but it's not him trying to cover up a crime?
Absolutely. I do think that they are trying to normalize it. And I think the reality is, individuals who are in the music and entertainment industry, some of them have so much power, so much money, so much access, and so much affluence that they do engage in some of these things. It's not uncommon that you might hear of a rapper flying out women to Miami to, partake in sexual activity, shopping experiences, or take them on vacation and things of that nature. That's not uncommon. Or to live this sort of rock star lifestyle where you have sex, drugs, rock and roll, and things like that all go hand in hand together. So I think that the defense is also trying to normalize it to an extent. And I think that, there are individuals who engage in this type of activity, even normal, traditional civilian individuals who may live a swingers type of lifestyle. And so the defense is trying to highlight that and normalize that for the jury.
So this is a super chat question from Richard SEA, and really appreciate the super chat. Can you please dive in and elaborate about this bombshell phone evidence that was filed June 9th by the prosecution that they're trying to bring in? I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to put that question on hold. When we get Elizabeth Milner on, our in-court reporter, I think she's probably the best person to answer that one. So, Richard, we're not forgetting your question. I'm going to ask Elizabeth that. Rich, I want to ask you this. We have this coming in. Where is it? It was a good one. Okay, so we talked about Christina Courtroom. I thought she was going to have to testify. She's been mentioned by like every single witness that's come on the stand. Sean Combs, former chief of staff. This is from Naturally Now. Great show. Thank you so much. Will they charge KK if she doesn't testify?
Don't know the answer to that. I mean, I have long speculated that there are a lot of people in this case that are both potential defendants and potential witnesses. And I've long thought that there have been discussions going on between the government and some of those individuals about, would you like to come in and testify, or would you like us to indict you, or something to that effect? Even if there's not ultimately a non-prosecution agreement, there can be discussions like that. So I don't know if that's happened with KK. I don't know if that's a possible defendant in a future case. I will say that the prosecutors here seem laser focused on Sean Combs, right? Yeah. Nobody else has been indicted of anything. So they are very single purpose about this.
We've got a question here for you, Safa. This is from Shy. Do you guys think her testimony leans to the defense? I'm assuming they're talking about Jane.
Yeah, I think that Jane's testimony is certainly favorable to the defense. I think that the prosecution sort of has the transportation to engage in prostitution in the bag. However, when it comes to sex trafficking and the racketeering charges and the threats of force and coercion and things like that, specifically to the sex trafficking allegation, I think that Jane Doe's testimony has actually been more favorable to the defense. You know, you have testimony and you have evidence, including text messages and voice notes, that reflect that, you know, when Mr. Combs would prompt her to say, hey, do you want to call such and such for tonight? No, I'm not really in the mood. Okay, that's fine. You know, it'll just be the two of us. Or, you know, they made other plans and watched, you know, their own videos while they were at home as opposed to actually engaging in those acts. So I think that her testimony is favorable to the defense. Not only that, but as we've learned of what her testimony has become, it's been a little contentious with the defense at times. And it looks like she's testifying and she's showing, I guess what I would say.
Let me tell you how it is favorable for the prosecution team. See, I don't know why they kind of make it seem like this one witness is supposed to cover all aspects of what he's being charged with. Cassie was the first part of the bread. Y'all remember week 1, I told you after Cassie, she was the bread of the sandwich that the feds are building to eat his ass up in the end, okay? She was the bread, right? So she showed, demonstrated certain aspects. We got some from her. We didn't get everything. We didn't get all 8 necessarily from her, right? Coming to Jane and all of that, that's in Capricorn, Kid Cudi, Garcia, all of that. Oh, that meat. Oh, that meat. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. All that meat. Yeah. Jane, you're not trying to get every aspect of his charges with Jane. Okay. So let's say we don't agree whether she was forced or not. In the beginning, she was. She thought she was getting a relationship. She didn't know that she was going to be in part of an organized crime, which is trafficking. So that contract that she signed, the love contract in 2023, when her pay was her crib, right? So we are hearing of that contract on these recordings, right, that just got admitted on the 9th, right? It was being withheld. So what that recording did for the prosecution team, for the government, is show that they did have a business, an enterprise. She was a worker. Okay? Worker. For and they transported male hookers. So let's just move the relationship part away. Let's just ease that over there. If anything, she is demonstrating for the government is that they had a business of transporting XXX workers. There's no way around that, right? She was willing. At that point, she said, hell, if I can't beat him, let me join him. I'm going to get a house. He said, go find you a crib. Now that we have a contract, we have a deal. See, him and Cassie had a 10-album deal, right? That they never fulfilled. So they was doing business. It was part of the enterprise. So what this is showing is that there is an enterprise. And up under that enterprise umbrella, whether she was forced or not, because she has immunity, right? So she has to get on that stand just like Cassie and tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me, God. And if that means I have to tell on myself, so I won't go to prison for life with this pervert, I'm going to tell on myself too, just like Cassie, because we was employed. We was getting paid for a service. We was getting paid for the work that we do. He just admitted it out of his own mouth that he gave her money to go get a house with a contract that they didn't have initially when she thought he was her boyfriend. Somewhere in that equation, he switched it around, started introducing these men into the equation. So now, that's what she did. Miss me with all of that other stuff. Right here, we are hearing that they signed a contract. So she became business partners with this human XX, XXX trafficking, transportation. That's what she proved. So miss me about the relationship. Relationship is long gone. Didn't she say he didn't like her calling him her boyfriend? They weren't boyfriend and girlfriend once she signed that love contract, because the only way that you can show your love for him is to entertain these donk, large banana, these humongous size pallywhacker XXX workers. What did Jonathan say? Jonathan Oddie. He said he was a XXX. So, hey. Okay? He said it long before these cases came out. So don't be mad at these people because the feds came knocking on their door. Say, tell us what you know and what you did. If not, you're going to be a co-conspirator. Choose wisely. Okay? That's how she is a benefit for the government. Now, they may not say it, but that's what it's proven. Stamp that. Okay. Stamp that.
Is exhibiting jealousy throughout their relationship, and why did she not get certain benefits that other women may have gotten, including Chanel bags and trips and things like that? So it really kind of creates this idea that, you know, were you really forced into this situation, or did you just try to maintain your relationship with him because you wanted certain material things and to live a certain material type lifestyle? So there's a fine line between those things, and I think on what I've heard her testimony to be, it can actually be more favorable to the defense.
Something you mentioned, we actually have another voice note from Sean Combs that's kind of on point about this. If we have it, let's play it.
So if you come in for 24 hours, yeah, you always wanted to set some up. Now you got the opportunity, so set some up for tomorrow night. That last vision we had was Dawn and ATL. See you put it together, baby.
Really interesting to hear that, Dave. I mean, just to give you an idea, we put up a poll. Does the language used by Diddy in these audio recordings provide support for Jane's allegations? 70%. Diddy's defense, 29%. Interesting to see that disparity.
Yeah, it supports that. It supports it.
It's his voice on there. They're not saying it's not his voice. They're not even going away from the fact that these events, these hotel nights, these debauchery nights occurred. It's the context and whether or not there were crimes and who set them up and whether or not she was a willing participant. These voice notes, what do you make of them?
Well, first off, who's bleeping the voice notes? Is that
looking for custom
It's the
glass
cuss
mirrors?
words.
Look no further than the
He
Hayes
looking
Company,
for an app for
Kansas City's
Diddy.
source for custom glass and
It or no? I think it's us bleeping it, right? It's us. It's us bleeping it. It's us bleeping it.
okay? Well, I think our audience is mature enough to handle the F words, because I do think that
This is a family show, Dave. What on earth are you talking about? People
I
bring
do
their
think-
children here. What are you talking about?
Well, if I'm a prosecutor in court, I would want every last expletive.
They hear it in court.
Is right. These messages, especially when you clean them up, when you take out all the foul language, they do humanize him, and that's where I think, as a prosecutor, I'm a former prosecutor, I would be like, I want it all in. I want all the nastiness and
In court, they hear all the nastiness.
all in there and not totally cleaned up. So as far as whether they help the defense or the prosecution, actually I agree with the audience that I still think it helps the prosecution because it shows planning these hotel nights or freak offs. And, you know, to the extent that Jane hurts the prosecution, I still think she helps more than she hurts because she corroborates what Cassie was saying.
Thank
Cassie
you.
had issues in her testimony too, because at times she consented, and it's up to the jury to decide whether or not they believe that someone can consent and then take it back, and then maybe say yes, but because she was coerced into it. It's the same type of dynamic with Jane. Yes, she seemed to be more loving to Diddy down the road, but overall, I do think she corroborates Cassie, warts and all, because life is complicated. These relationships are complicated. It's important that the jury understands that you can consent at some point, and then you could say no, and it's still rape, and it's still human trafficking.
Yeah, you know, one of the things you have to be thinking about here, Rich, is I don't get the sense this, like when they were cross-examining Mia, or they were cross-examining Brianna Bengolan,
I just put up a poll. Hey,
you're not telling the
Pressure.
truth about you being sexually assaulted. You're not telling the truth.
Now Pressure Laquita here. She half here and half
She might
not.
be making it up for whatever reasons, financial motivations. I don't know. I'm not getting the sense that they're being that aggressive with Jane in that line of questioning. I interviewed Mauricio Padilla.
Pressure, did you hear the recording?
She could be a victim of a toxic relationship. She might not be a victim of a crime.
Have you heard the recordings out of Diddy's own mouth?
All of this, and it makes me feel the way they're cross-examining her, what they're cross-examining her, is almost putting the prosecution in the hot seat.
Because I like
Diddy and these audio
Questions like that, so.
the hidden phone. Thoughts. Now, I don't know if this is about a phone from Diddy or from I don't know what this might be about. Did you hear anything about a hidden phone? And if not, we'll try to look it up.
I see a crack pipe.
Boy, Jesse, the buildup that I know everything, and it's just a letdown. I don't know about the hidden phone. We need to look that up, and I'm gonna Google it right now. I'll have an answer for you.
We'll put that to the side. We'll come back to that question. I'll throw a different question at you. This is from Shop Girl, who's been so generous with her questions as we've been doing these live shows, which, by the way, we plan to do every single day of this case. Jesse, did the defense bringing the rapper and his wife, whose birthday is in January, into play, open it up for the prosecution to call the rapper to the stand? That became a big point during cross-examination today about her attending this party and what she was doing. I don't know who this rapper is. Can speculate. I don't know who it is, but you think it's enough for this rapper to be called to the stand? Probably not, right?
Well, if the defense made an issue out of it and was referring to it, then that would open the door to the prosecution to pursue that and call this rapper to the stand. So it just depends on the context and what was said, how much the defense depended on it. But that's always a big warning for the defense, that you're throwing everything against the wall, hoping it sticks, but then you unintentionally open the door for more evidence. I mean, I always thought that the reason why KK was not testifying in the prosecution's case was because they were going to use her as a potential rebuttal witness, to be like a warning to the defense, saying, be careful what you say. We got the woman who knows where all the bodies are buried, metaphorically speaking, of course, ready to go to contradict and rebut anything you put on.
Yeah, it was apparently one of these sex workers was at a dinner for the birthday of the rapper's wife, and apparently they were asked, does anybody else, if Jane knew anybody else in the lifestyle. I wonder, Saf, are they trying to normalize it? Are they trying to say, this might be odd, this might be strange, but it's not him trying to cover up a crime?
Absolutely. I do think that they are trying to normalize it. And I think the reality is, individuals who are in the music and entertainment industry, some of them have so much power, so much money, so much access, and so much affluence that they do engage in some of these things. It's not uncommon that you might hear of a rapper flying out women to Miami to, partake in sexual activity, shopping experiences, or take them on vacation and things of that nature. That's not uncommon. Or to live this sort of rock star lifestyle where you have sex, drugs, rock and roll, and things like that all go hand in hand together. So I think that the defense is also trying to normalize it to an extent. And I think that, there are individuals who engage in this type of activity, even normal, traditional civilian individuals who may live a swinger type of lifestyle. And so the defense is trying to highlight that and normalize that for the jury.
So this is a super chat question from Richard S.E.A. and really appreciate the super chat. Can you please dive in and elaborate about this bombshell phone
I'm sick of
evidence?
these. Yeah, you asked for somebody other than
trying to bring in. I'll tell you
Cassie.
put that question on hold.
Who was the other girl that you were sick of?
I think she's the best person to answer that one. So, Richard, we're not forgetting the question. I'm going to ask Elizabeth that. Rich, I want to ask you this. We have this coming in.
Oh, wow.
Where is it? It was a good one. Okay, so we talked about Christina Courtroom. I thought she was going to
Question
have
that you
to
used to
testify.
be
She's
a
mentioned
pimp.
by like every single witness that's come on the stand. Sean
Are
Combs,
you
former,
finessed
chief of
2
staff.
times?
This is from Naturally Now. Great show. Thank you so much. Will they charge KK if she doesn't testify?
Don't know the answer to that. I mean, I have long speculated that there are a lot of people in this case that are both potential defendants and potential witnesses. And I've long thought that there have been discussions going on between the government and some of those individuals about, would you like to come in and testify, or would you like us to indict you, or something to that effect. Even if there's not ultimately a non-prosecution agreement, there can be discussions like that. So I don't know if that's happened with KK. I don't know if that's a possible defendant in a future case. I will say that the prosecutors here seem laser focused on Sean Combs, right?
Yeah.
Nobody else has been indicted of anything. So they are very single purpose about this.
We've got a question here for you, Safa. This is from Shy. Do you guys think her testimony leans to the defense? I'm assuming they're talking about Jane.
Yeah, I think that Jane's testimony is certainly favorable to the defense. You know, I think that the prosecution sort of has the transportation to engage in prostitution in the bag. However, when it comes to sex trafficking and the racketeering charges and the threats of force and coercion and things like that, specifically to the sex trafficking allegation, I think that Jane Doe's testimony has actually been more favorable to the defense. You know, you have testimony and you have evidence, including text messages and voice notes, that reflect that, you know, when Mr. Combs would prompt her to say, hey, do you want to call such and such for tonight? No, I'm not really in the mood. Okay, that's fine. You know, it'll just be the two of us. Or, you know, they made
That's a
other
lie.
plans and watched, you know, their own videos while they were at home, as opposed to actually engaging in those acts. So I think that her testimony is favorable to the defense. Not only that, but as we've learned of what her testimony has become, it's been a little contentious with the defense at times, and it looks like she's testifying.
I agree,
and she's
just the
showing,
facts.
I guess what I would say is exhibiting jealousy throughout their relationship. And why did she not get certain benefits that other women may have gotten, including Chanel bags and trips and things like that? So it really kind of creates this idea that, you know, were you really forced into this situation, or did you just try to maintain your relationship with him because you wanted certain material things and to live a certain material type lifestyle? So there's a fine line between those things, and I think based on what I've heard her testimony to be, it can actually be more favorable to the defense.
Something you mentioned, we actually have another voice note from Sean Combs that's kind of on point about this. If we have it, let's play it.
Yeah, so if you come in for 24 hours, yeah, you always wanted to set some up. So now you got the opportunity. So set some up for tomorrow night. That last vision we had that was Dawn and ATL. See you put it together, baby.
Really interesting to hear that, Dave. I mean, just to give you an idea, we put up a poll. Does the language used by Diddy in these audio recordings provide support for Jane's allegations? 70%. Diddy's defense, 29%. Interesting to see that disparity, because you can't, it's his voice on there. They're not saying it's not his voice. They're not even going away from the fact that these events, these hotel nights, these debauchery nights occurred. It's the context and whether or not there are crimes and who set them up and whether or not she was a willing participant. These voice notes, what do you make of them?
Well, first off, who's bleeping the voice notes? Is that the court, or it couldn't be law and crime, right? I mean, we're on the internet. We can...
Guys, our producers, is us bleeping it or no? I think it's us bleeping it, right? It's us. It's us bleeping it. It's us bleeping it.
Okay, well, I think our audience is mature enough to handle the F words, because I do think that...
This is a family show, Dave. What on earth are you talking about? People bring their children here. What are you talking about?
Well, if I'm a prosecutor in court, I would want every last expletive to be heard by the jury. Safa is right. These messages, especially when you clean them up, when you take out all the foul language, they do humanize him. And that's where... I think as a prosecutor, I'm a former prosecutor, I would be like, I want it all in. I want all the nastiness and gross stuff and the expletives all in there, and not totally cleaned up. So as far as whether they help the defense or the prosecution, actually I agree with the audience that I still think it helps the prosecution because it shows planning these hotel nights or freak-offs. And, to the extent that Jane hurts the prosecution, I still think she helps more than she hurts because she corroborates what Cassie was saying. Cassie had issues in her testimony too because at times she consented, and it's up to the jury to decide whether or not they.
Cassie had an issue with Gina,
consent and then take
pressure,
it back. And
not
then,
Young
maybe say
Miami.
yes, but because she was
Gina.
coerced to it. It's the same type of dynamic with Jane. Yes, she seemed to be more loving to Diddy down the road, but overall, I do think she corroborates Cassie, warts and all, because life is complicated. These relationships are complicated. It's important that the jury understands that you can consent at some point, and then you can say no, and it's still rape, and it's still human trafficking.
Yeah, one of the things you have to be thinking about here, Rich, is, and I don't get the sense this, like when they were cross-examining Mia, or they were cross-examining Brianna Bongolan, it seemed to me they were going really strong to say, you're not telling the truth about you being sexually assaulted. You're not telling the truth about you being dangled off a balcony. And you might be making it up for whatever reasons, financial motivations, I don't know. I'm not getting the sense that they're being that aggressive with Jane in that line of questioning. I interviewed Mauricio Padilla for Sidebar, and he goes, she could be a victim. She could be a victim of a toxic relationship. She might not be a victim of a crime, but she's still potentially a victim in all of this. And it makes me feel the way they're cross-examining her, what they're cross-examining her about, is almost putting the prosecution in the hot seat, saying that her testimony doesn't really amount to sex trafficking or racketeering. And it's, the idea of what would be her incentive to come forward and testify. She was issued a subpoena. She doesn't have much choice to testify here.
Right. Yeah, I don't know that they have the same ammunition against her they have against some of the other witnesses. To me, the strongest thing she says for the prosecution's case is when she testified that after hearing Cassie's story come out, she realized that she was a victim too and that this had happened to another person. And that's exactly what the prosecution wants the jury to come away with. The prosecution wants the jury not to think that this is just something about Diddy's relationship with his longtime on-again, off-again girlfriend, Cassie, that can be explained away as a toxic relationship and a one-off, but this is about fundamentally who Sean Combs is. Look at the way he treats other women. Listen to these voice messages. Look at what he does. That's what they're trying to prove.
By the way, Tony Tokes came back, gave a little bit more context about that hidden phone. He goes, it is device 1. Diddy had sent KK messages confessing things. Tisa Tells said it is the court records. They didn't find the phone during the raids. Device 2 led them to device number 1. And then he writes, I don't know, LOL. Yeah, we'll try to figure that out and sort through it. Okay, this is a question for the whole panel. I'll start with you, Rich. It's a great question. This is from Allison Thompson. To the panel, I feel most of our panel guests have a slightly different angle with responses. Has any of your thoughts and opinions changed at all compared to what they were when this trial started? Start with you, Rich.
I don't think so. I think, fundamentally, I thought and I still think that they were going to be able to put on evidence demonstrating that he's a bad guy, demonstrating physical abuse. I thought they were probably going to be able to fulfill the elements of these prostitution and sex trafficking charges. And for me, the real issue was always and still is, can they prove a RICO violation? Can they prove all of the things beyond a reasonable doubt that are wrapped up in a RICO violation? I don't have a different view of that than I did at the beginning, and I don't think anything's happened in the trial that really so far has thrown me for a loop.
I'll tell you what, I'll get the answers from Safa and Dave on the other end. We have to take a break. Why? Because Elizabeth Milner's outside of court. So I want to get her...
You have been asking me forever.
...today, and also have her answer that super chat question from Richard Essaal. We'll be right back right after this. Stay with us.
Let's go, Elizabeth. Y'all hit the poll question. Hi, Lauren.
But according to the government, they want to use this in December of 2020.
Let's just wait for it so I don't mess it up.
questions that the defense was kind of posing to Jane. Part of these discussions, but here's what we do know, and I'm going to wait for the ambulance to pass real quick. Okay.
Answering all of your questions before she has to jump back into the courtroom. She was there for all of the testimony today. She's been there for all the testimony for every day. Elizabeth, it's great to see you. So besides the questions like from L. Spelunker, who says, will Elizabeth write a tell-all book after this? Or a comment from Tablet Lingua, who says, Elizabeth for president. Besides those great comments, so you already got one vote. 2 votes, you have my vote. Okay, so besides those, we had this super chat question from Richard Ezelos, excuse me, and it says, can you please dive in and elaborate about this bombshell phone evidence that was filed June 9th by the prosecution that they're trying to bring in? Do you know what this is about, or what this could be about?
Yeah, so I think it kind of could possibly be about, as far as the prosecution goes, is that the government wanted to enter some note entries that Jane had made in her phone. This was after Cassie's lawsuit, and they wanted to bring this up under redirect. And so there was kind of some arguments about it this morning, but it seems like from the government's perspective, they really wanted to get in one particular, at least sentence from this voice note, or from this note in Jane's phone app, where Jane had expressed in December of 2023 that she felt manipulated and she felt obligated to be doing these hotel nights about 98% of the time. The government, in their argument this morning, was saying this kind of rebuts the cross-examination as far as Jane, as far as the questions that the defense was kind of posing to Jane, as far as just her willingness to participate in these hotel nights. But according to the government, they want to use this particular sentence, at least from my understanding of it, just so that way they can kind of help rebut this under redirect. However, they should have possibly introduced this under direct, but I think given where the cross-examination has gone, that they were trying to introduce more exhibits as well too. But it seems like from their perspective that they just wanted that one little piece of sentence, because it seemed like the judge didn't want all of these exhibits to be put in under redirect. But the judge said that he'll reserve his ruling as to that one sentence. So we don't know if that sentence will be admitted, if the jury will hear this particular note yet, but I believe that is the answer to your question, and I hope I answered it well.
Okay, what about this? We got a question from Michaela, and this is really interesting because I can't get a sense of it either based on the reporting. Do we know why testimony was delayed today? I saw it was due to an unknown issue, but wanted to ask if you may have heard anything. I mean, this just came up again right before the break. It seems that the judge had even wanted, or the prosecution even wanted, Sean Combs to be a part of this meeting. That is, there was some issue that was discussed in the robing room. They have concerns. Do you have any idea what is going on in the judge's chambers?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I have no idea what's going on, and I think a lot of us have been kind of scrambling to figure out what exactly is happening, because it seems like from both sides they're being very tight-lipped about this. But from the defense's perspective, Sean Combs wasn't in the back for the conversations that were had in the robing room or the chambers room, and it wasn't being transcribed either, so he wasn't able to follow along. So from the defense's perspective, they wanted to make sure that their client was able to be a part of these discussions. But here's what we do know. I'm going to wait for the ambulance to pass real quick. Okay, now we're good. But as far as just what we do...
So Elizabeth, it's super loud, super loud. I'll jump in. I'll jump in as we wait for this to happen, because it's, you're in downtown New York. Okay, so very rude. They're interrupting our show, by the way, but it sounds like it's an emergency, so there you go. Okay, back to you, Elizabeth. So now, talking about what happened with this issue, as far as you know.
Yeah, of course. So what we do know is that this was a conversation between both parties, so the defense as well as the prosecution. But also, I think what the interesting part is, this was a conversation between Jane's attorney too. And so it was all kind of three different parties in the back in the robing room discussing this. And so court was delayed for a while this morning. It's been a really weird morning this morning. There was stuff going on before court happened. There was stuff going on once court started. And so it really kind of delayed the proceedings. I don't think the jury even sat down in the jury box until close to maybe 11 o'clock this morning. Now, mind you, court was supposed to start at 9 a.m. this morning, so it really was a significant delay, and a lot of us were kind of scrambling to figure out what was going on. A lot of rumors kind of swirling, so we don't know the full answer, and we were hoping to kind of get an answer about what possibly they were discussing before the lunch break, but it seemed like from both sides, the government and the defense, they kept it tight-lipped. The judge ordered a sidebar. Obviously, that white noise was playing in the background. It was super loud, and we were
were thinking, okay, after the sidebar is over, maybe they'll talk about it. And then they're like, okay, lunch break, everyone. And so then lunch break happened. So unfortunately, we still don't know the full scope of what was going on, but it seemed like a very important conversation that was being had because it took so long. I think Diddy really wanted to be a part of it because he seemed a little kind of agitated that he didn't know what was going on, and the defense attorneys were kind of shielding him, talking with him, whispering with him as they were kind of trying to figure out from their own end what was happening too.
Well, I'll tell you, the judge upheld this ruling where the identities of these people that were involved in a January 2024 incident, they will not be disclosed. This regarded a trip to Las Vegas where she, Sean Combs, and this group, including an unnamed rapper, they had apparently watched this kind of voyeuristic sex session, this woman who had sex with an entertainer that both she and Combs had used in the past. But the judge said that this is not among the alleged acts connected to the sex trafficking charges that Combs faces. So you can see why they made that ruling right there. Okay, this is a really, really important question about the jury. This is from Leg 7K. A question for Elizabeth Milner. Now that the cross-examination for Jane is coming to an end today, have you had any insights and thoughts on the jury's overall reaction to Jane?
I don't know how they're feeling about Jane necessarily. I think there were times maybe during, especially her cross-examination, because I think kind of the issue is we hear one thing under direct and you feel for her, and this kind of applies to other witnesses too, where you really kind of feel for them while they're under direct. But then when you kind of peel back the layers just a little bit more under cross-examination, you're kind of learning more of just the scope of everything. So whether it be the text messages, whether it be then her kind of willingness or alleged willingness to participate in these hotel nights and possibly being fine with them, you feel like you start to kind of learn a little bit more and a little bit deeper under the cross-examination. So, for example, when they were talking today about this unnamed rapper and his girlfriend/wife who was going to Vegas and Jane was going along with them, when the jury saw who this unnamed rapper was, because unfortunately we still aren't able to see the exhibits, I did see one juror in the second row kind of going, interesting. So I feel like as far as just where their heads are at, I don't really know. There are also times where like I'm seeing them kind of either looking away or I'm seeing them looking directly at their screens, but I'm
For those of us with service animals,
Ooh, Jay-Z, Beyonce, or Kanye and Bianca.
Are they going to continue to hear what feels like the same thing over and over again? And they're probably wondering why there's been so many holdups today as far as court starting, court ending, and just the overall testimony too.
Yeah, they don't have as much information as we do, including how every piece of evidence fits into the overall case. Before I let you go, Elizabeth, we talked about the jurors. Let's talk about Diddy. ATX Stanley asks, question for Elizabeth, what has Diddy been doing while the witnesses testified? Does he stare at them and nod or shake his head or doodle on a notepad? What is he doing?
So from what I could see of him, because I do have a tiny bit of an obstructed view today, but what I have seen of him is he is listening to Jane's testimony. I do see him when he is looking, it's either looking at Mark Agnifilo, who's normally sitting right beside him, possibly chatting with Brian Steele at points, who sits on the other side of him, and then kind of passing notes like he normally does, or just looking at Tinny Garrett.
Yeah, I heard him first. But,
of the witness. And so I haven't seen the nodding over.
You would never say it's Jay-Z.
Per se, but he seems to, as far as just the events that happened this morning, it seems like he's still kind of listening to all the testimony, and if there's anything that they want to be asking, Diddy's definitely writing down that in a note, passing it off to his attorney, so that way they can pass it off to Tinny Garrett.
Elizabeth Milner, I know you have to jump back into court. Thank you so much. I'm going to see you later for our sidebar, our recap of the entire day's testimony and events. I'll catch you then. Thanks, Elizabeth.
Thanks, Jesse.
All right, so I'm going to continue the conversation, and I'll get back to the question that came before.
Hold on. Hello. Hold on, y'all.
This man practices hoodoo, voodoo,
Hold on. Hold on.
Doe, the rumors surrounded about that, the way Diddy's team is in a huddle, the way so much is going on. Let's get into this. I have my handy dandy notebook. Let's get into this. You know what? I got my fan, right? And, excuse me, and these mosquitoes. Anyway, let's get into this because we're going to be on break for the next 20, 25 minutes. I'm probably going to be talking for the next 40, but we need to talk about the way Diddy's team looked like they absolutely melt down in court. There is no other way to talk about it. There is no other way to get around it. Now, when they come back from lunch, they're going to talk about a few evidentiary issues. What are those evidentiary issues? What we've been talking about on the channel, that June 9th thing for a secret cell phone that under the warrant, Diddy should have turned over, but he kept secret. They found it because when they raided the hotel room, when he got arrested, that phone they showed was rumored to be, they had forwarded the message from device 1 to device 2. And that's how through device 2, they found out about device 1 that Diddy shouldn't have had. Diddy, everybody says, oh my God, Diddy says it's good for him. Diddy says a lot of stuff. Diddy said he never even hurt anybody, okay? But we all know we cannot believe what Diddy says. So what actually happened? Let's get into this. Let's also talk
Let's
about
go, Tisa Tail. Shout out to Tisa.
Saying that Jane Doe said that she didn't want to testify. I don't know if I believe that. Now, in the beginning, it looked like it did. I don't know if I believe that because how do you go from not testifying to getting out there? I think what Jane Doe was saying is and this is just my guess, she wanted to be protected. She wanted the noise to stop. Again, let me tell you something. The way all of the people coming to testify here have been treated by certain online platforms, I think has been horrendous, okay? I see, and I've said it again, I see why Gina didn't want to testify. Because Gina has a history. We know who Gina is. Could you imagine what would be going on in that group life right now? Aside from if you think she's still with, if you think out of this, that, and the third, I don't know. I do know that if she did have good intentions and she wanted to testify, you would be crucified for this. However, the prosecution has been doing what they can to protect the witnesses. But keep in mind, I'm just plugging my headphones in really quick. But keep in mind, this is a new day, right? Can you guys hear me? Keep in mind, this is a new day. And it's hard to control everything. It's no longer like you control like the nightly news and you can control what everybody's doing. So it's a little bit more difficult to control. Hold on, y'all. Let me get out of this sun. All right, I usually love the sun, but not 90 degrees worth. Anyway, y'all, let's get back into this. So what actually happened? Well, a couple of things. First of all, okay, Annabelle said, hardest working reporter, have a refreshment. Annabelle, thank you. You know I will. I want this grape soda without the Diddy special in it. Thank you so much, Annabelle. I appreciate it. Hopefully the phone doesn't overheat. Okay, so what else is actually going on? Okay, first of all, Tanya Garagos still off of her game. Tanya Garagos still, I don't know, we've seen her cross before. She can make magic happen when she is crossing. Again, Diddy got $1 million team. Even as much as I even clown Mark Agafilio, baby, he is heavy. He knows what he's doing. Oh my God, Alfonso Wesley, thank you so much for the super chat. I got drinks and I got dinner. Thank you so much, okay? Tini was literally trying to turn everything around on Jane Doe and make it seem like Diddy acting like an extra from The Shining didn't really happen, okay? Let's get into this. We're also going to have to talk about Jane Doe and that mysterious thing that happened earlier today in the trial, okay? Really quick, High Classy said, congratulations, you're on the up and up. Oh, thank y'all. I appreciate that. Also, Charlie says, Plenty Gets It. Tisa, saw you on Nancy Grace when you said Free Willy. I spit on my coffee. Who needs coffee when you're serving tea? Thank y'all so much. Also, I am on ABC Live, Dateline, Nancy Grace, featured in the Hollywood Reporter. I have a great article about that. On top of that, there's a few other things. You know the documentaries I'm in. There's a few other things that I have going on that I will share. And don't forget this Friday, I'm going to be on, hold on, let me grab my bag. Don't forget this Friday, let me just move over here, out the sun, right? don't forget this Friday I am going to be on Spoutable, okay? What am I going to do on Spoutable? I'm going to be doing an end of the week recap. You guys have been asking for it. Let me take my earrings off. They keep bumping up against my thing. Went on with Jane Doe. Now, you know there was like a lot of commotion in the courtroom, okay? You know Mark Agnifilo was literally trying to argue and do his thing, okay? Now, really quick, Honeybee Therapy, thank you so much for the super chat, okay? And Linda Young, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Veronica, thank you. Phoebe Burrow said, we're so proud of you. Keep shining, beautiful. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it. And Marcy Sancho, thank you so much for the super chat. Savage Justice said, loving Tisa as a victim advocate. You always know. Nancy Grace is Tisa's spirit. I don't know. Listen, you know we love Nancy Grace. Thank you so much. And I'm going to be on there all week. Ivy Curtis, good morning, Tisa. Diddy is done. Love you and your amazing content. Thank you so much. Okay, and Penitent said, who do you think is going to win? When will we know? Okay, when will we know who we're going to win? Well, let me just tell you what the legal experts are saying, all right? Art by HC, thank you so much. Katrina, thank you so much for the Cash App. And Marcy Sancho, thank you so much. Said, we love you here in Maryland. I love Maryland too. Let me get on a crab boat this summer. This type of heat. Okay, so hold on, y'all. Okay, how did I zoom myself in? I'm so close. It's just freaking me out. How did I do this? Oh, I can zoom myself in or out. That's so cool. Okay, I know what y'all saying. Tisa, stop with your first day on YouTube and just report. Okay, so there was a hubbub in the court, okay? They kept saying in chambers, they wanted to talk about something between Jane Doe's lawyer, Diddy, and of course the prosecutors. They were inside that session for a while. When they came back, they moved to proceed. Now, a lot of people said that, oh, Jane Doe's saying she doesn't want to testify. I do not think that's true. If Jane Doe was saying she didn't want to testify, she wouldn't have waited until 5 minutes before they brought her into the courtroom. Clearly, this woman planned to testify. However, there is something that got under Jane Doe's skin. Now, what could that be? We are going to talk about it. But more importantly, can we talk about the way Diddy kept wanting things on record, okay? Now, it was weird because here's the thing. Remember the rapper and his wife that were in Vegas with Jane Doe, okay? Diddy, it looked like, was trying to see if the rapper could actually testify or get involved in the case in some way in order to perjure Jane Doe. What was that saying? It seemed like that was being implied. And that because Jane Doe kept bringing up what happened in Vegas in January 2024. And I've already did a story on who that person is, right? And low key, they landed in Teterboro Airport, the private jet airport in New Jersey last night. So they are 100% in the area. And certain people think they might have actually been at the courthouse, and along when the boys showed up, there was also celebrities downstairs. But forget all that, right? Because that's just idle gossip. What do I know? But here is the point. It seemed like Diddy's team or Diddy wanted that evidence admitted because they wanted to actually pull, right? They were trying to, no, here's why the people are saying, oh my God, Jane Doe said she didn't want to testify. It sounds like from what we hear with the lawyers, the arguments the lawyers were making, that Diddy's team is still trying to say that they do not believe that Jane Doe should be anonymous. And they do not believe that the people surrounding Jane Doe should be anonymous because they said that if we left everybody anonymous, there are other people that were there in the situation that could come forward and tell them what really happened, okay? Now, I think this rapper, they would use that because they are very, very good friends with Diddy. I just effed your B in a Sean John tank top, right? Right? They are very, very close friends, according to, I would imagine Kanye. He's saying that Diddy taught him everything that he needed to know about getting a wife. Let that sink in, right? So anyway, right? They either wanted them to actually say something in court, which I would never, ever let, hey, I would never, ever let Kanye into my case to testify. I don't care. I could literally be going to court for a traffic ticket. You let Kanye literally do something to help you out, baby, you might end up with a death penalty. You might end up with a death penalty. Like, honestly, I would never let that man near my case, right?
I would
However,
let him,
it
because he
looks
gonna
like,
go in
and I
there
think this is
saying
more likely,
he
and
taught
again,
me how to
this is
pimp.
all speculation, because it was in the judge's chamber. No matter what anybody says, unless they actually are going on the record, nobody
Let
knows
him.
what happened. So let me be clear, right? However, if they lift the anonymous
Let him
thing
sabotage
for
him.
Doe, right? Then Ye could come forward and say, yeah, it was us, or whoever was in Vegas in 24. It really don't matter. It really don't matter, right? But they could come forward. And their argument, Diddy's argument was, if they come forward, there can be other people that can actually tell us what went wrong. Okay, there was hoopla and shenanigans, right? Listen, on top of that, the judge shut it down. And whatever happened in the chambers with the victim's lawyer and the prosecution and defense, the judge shut it down. And they were like, no. Mark Agnifilio comes out looking like, he likes to broadcast what he's feeling on the face. It makes me think with Mark Agnifilio, is he just Diddy's emotional support animal? Anyway, he comes out and he's like, Yana, I just like to lodge an objection. I'd like to lodge an objection. And the judge is like, oh, okay, so you do that, right? Because half the time, Judge Aaron be looking like, okay, like, can you come on, right? He's like, I want to lodge an objection. And he said, okay, you can do that. But he was like, but we cannot talk about anything we talked about in my chambers. It wasn't for the public record. Now, here's the thing. There was a court reporter in there, but it's going to be under public seal, right? And he's like, Your Honor, I'm sorry. I need to do it in the courtroom because when this happened, Diddy was taken back to the U.S. Marshals Service. Diddy was taken back to the U.S. Marshals, and I was like, oh, I hope he violated something, right?
Check that head again.
Back. So he wasn't even around when all this was going on. And he was like, I'm sorry, Your Honor. My client wasn't around, so I need to say this in front of my client. So the judge was like, okay, well, do you want to say it in my chambers with your client there? Your Honor, I need to say this here. So I said, oh, my God, here we go. Diddy is grandstanding once again in open court, thinking he runs ish, and you don't run nothing. Again, Diddy is firmly in control of his legal team, but it's almost like he's running this, like this is like the comment section of a blog instead of an actual court of law, okay? So the judge is like, you want to lodge an objection in the open courtroom. All right, go ahead. You got that. You got it. Go ahead, right? So then, right, he's like, you got it. Go ahead, right? So they're like, Your Honor, we need to say blah, 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 blah. Basically,
nothing.
A whole bunch of nothing. But it seemed like it made Diddy feel better. And while they were on the judge's chambers, when they came out of the judge's chambers and they were huddling, Diddy was throwing up his hands, acting mad, doing this, doing that, right? Again, Your Honor was like, Your Honor, Mark Agnifilio was like, the events of January 2024 in the Vegas hotel room, Judge Aaron was like, come on, you're going to have to wrap this up in 2 to 5 business days. Like, what are we doing? Right? He said, listen, it's important that we actually release who the client's name is. So if these people, we can actually do work, right? And these people that maybe receive the actual name can add valuable info. They can give us new insight into this, right? Listen, he was like, anonymous victims are the worst because it deprives the defendant of the opportunity to get the public to do anything of value and bring it back. They
don't have a case trial.
This should be a fully public trial. And I said, see, that's how you know this mofo is going to the get. Well, sorry.
They don't have a defense,
right? Because at the end of the day, Diddy, do you not know what
they don't have a defense? They're going to lose their case.
Do you not know that this is not a special rule they made up for you? Do you know that, like, this is the way best go? Like, what, sir, are you actually doing, right? He said, they said, Yana, once again, we did not consent to Jane Doe, which is weird because
they don't have a case.
Doe was the only Jane Doe that Diddy didn't try to fight. Diddy didn't try to fight that Jane Doe. But then again, this Jane Doe was meeting with Diddy and his lawyers up until April 2025.
She's not the only one.
April 2025, they were meeting with the lawyers. So I thought y'all was cool. Diddy, right? Exactly. But at the end of the day, Diddy might have tried to think he could just keep Jane Doe on a leash, and it blew up in his face. That's what I think is happening. That's what I think is happening, right? It was like, we did not consent to the events tied to the trial. To the event of her being made anonymous, right? And we believe that the events tied to the trial should be public. Again, the Judge Aaron was looking at Mark Agnifilo like, mofo, you and I both know that this is standard calls. Why are you letting that ninja in your seat gas you up in this good, upstanding Southern District of New York courthouse when we all know this is the way things go, right? They're like, yeah, I know we believe this info should reach the public so witnesses can come forward. Who are the witnesses? Many people have guessed that it is Ye and Bianca, but whoever it is, right? Your Honor, the info should reach the public so witnesses should come forward. In any case, Your Honor, we wanted to be we wanted to make this statement and lodge this objection in the presence of the client, and not have any secret meetings, right? Judge Aaron literally looked at all that grandstanding and he was like, I know he is tired of all of us in the courtroom. I know he is tired of seeing our faces, seeing the thing. He literally looked at Mark and the finish and was like, okay, if that's all, right? Like, okay, right? So anyway, right? What's her name? Then, listen, Maureen Comey jumped up, right? And was like, Your Honor, if I may. And Judge Aaron was like, proceed, counselor, because you know, right? Proceed. And Maureen Comey was tilting to the side. Sorry, knew she was on her bullshit. Every time you see Maureen Comey do that shoulder lean and speaking to the side, you know she is coming hard. She's like, Your Honor, anyone who knows the facts of the case have come forward and contacted the witness. As a matter of fact, Mia, they received valuable information, according to them, from Mia, from people that came forward because they understood the facts of the case without a name, knew what was being discussed, and came over and said something, right? They said, Your Honor, the event in question is no, listen, and the events in question that happened in Vegas, because they want what happened in Vegas to come out, because they want, and here's the thing, I would not allow at all Jay to testify. However, I do think that he will probably want him to go on a social media campaign to smear whatever's going on with Jane Doe. I do believe that he would go on a social media campaign to smear Jane Doe. Let's also not forget the pardon thing, right? If Jane Doe's name is actually said, let me move my purse out of the sun. I keep trying, the sun keeps like following me, right? But it was like, if, think about it, if they can find a way with Jane Doe to get her name out in public and get a lot of people to come forward with, I heard she lied, I heard this, I heard that, I heard she was look, and they get all that. They hope, I think, it's my opinion, that they're going to use to amplify a public isharm, to start all these conspiracy theories, and I bet not one of them will be true, and start all of these conspiracy theories. And then when the conspiracies are started, then they can take it to Trump and be like, see, look, he's being treated unfairly. Even though when you look into all the theories, not one of them are going to be true. That's why you want Jane Doe's name out there. You, listen, you want the hounds of Baskerville released upon Jane Doe. That's what's really going on. Anyway, Maureen Comey was like, Your Honor, also, these events in question in Vegas, there's no reason to even release any names, bring any statements, or bring anybody else into the case, because guess what, right? There was no alleged acts of, hey, what's up? Guess what? There is no alleged acts of sex trafficking alleged. That was just a little side story. It was a throwaway. I'm sorry people got clipped by it, but it was 100% a throwaway. So what do you want to happen? Right? So the judge was like, yeah, I agree. Even if this person had valuable stuff, and I will say, right, literally thinking that that allegedly, Ye, can offer anything to the case besides turning into a mockery and somehow, I don't even know how Diddy could get double arrested, but if you put Ye on the case for more than 10 minutes, maybe he will get you double arrested. He will get you the electric chair. You might even lose your U.S. citizenship. Don't ask me how that could happen, but you see what Ye has done to
Y'all
his
hit the
own
like
life
button,
career.
please.
Now triple that, because at the end of the day, Ye still got beef, you know? Hey, what's going on, mama?
You know I'm here for you, girl.
Hey, what's up?
I know you hot. I got you this little fan.
Oh my God,
Just,
thank you
know.
so much.
I hope it matches your lipstick. I know you're gonna
What's your name? You want to say hi?
My name.
You want to
It's
say?
me, Melissa.
I know, Melissa. You want to say hi? Yeah. Sorry, I was talking to the people. You guys.
Hey guys, I'm
Okay, hold on.
Oh, I need
Look
that fan.
at Miss Melissa, my guardian angel. Go ahead.
Yes, guys, you know it's me. I had to bring Tisa a little fan because you know she be hot. And this
Melissa
one,
is my guardian angel. Look at
I be
her
looking.
saving lives.
I be watching you, Tisa, and keeping track just to make sure you straight.
Oh,
You're my
thank
bestie.
you. Oh, Mama, thank you so much. And thank you for all the work you do. Her whole job is caring for other people. She came to care for me. Thank you. I know Melissa be watching me like she is just an entire mess. Let me go help her.
And I watch you.
Oh, thank you, Melissa. I appreciate you.
Stay cool, stay up.
All right.
I'm watching you.
All right, thank you, Melissa. Look, y'all. Look how pretty this is. And it matches me my outfit. Thank you so much. Hold on. Let's do this. Womanchi, Shanjumi Shizamba.
Set that ass up. Set that ass up.
See, Melissa? Okay, let me stop playing.
Yeah, stop.
Right, but thank you, Melissa. I needed that. Melissa, thank you so much, all right? Anyway, right? Let's get into this, right? Listen, again, I don't know how, this son is literally testing my patience. I don't know how, with having Ye come to your defense, that you can actually lose your American citizenship, but I'm 100% sure, right? They said, Your Honor, the identity of the people in Vegas, the hotel room, doesn't mean anything. So why is this offendant trying to bring it in? They said nothing is related to the trafficking in the hotel incident. So it's incidental. You don't need to speak on anything. But this is their way. Again, if they can create a shit show, I believe that is a direct link to make a path for Trump. Now, the gag is, I don't believe at all that Trump is partying the A. But you know what? Weirder things have happened, right? Weirder things have happened, right? Anyway, I did put lol. Ye, could you imagine? Well, again, Ye outside the courtroom, lol. I said, is Bianca in her court outfit? Did she got a pinstripe, a nude pantyhose, shirt and bottom? Could you imagine Bianca coming in with that enhanced booty? Yeah, okay. Anyway, right? I said, listen, they want to get in maybe last minute testimony, or they want to be able to have, because here's the thing, they want to be able to have this person speak in order to do this, right? But again, what does this prove? Listen, it proves nothing. I know. Thank you so much, Melissa.
That's cute.
I have to get her a
Mine
gift.
is
This
cuter,
so pretty. I love it.
but
okay,
it's
right?
cute.
Anyway, right? Jane entered the courtroom. Listen, Diddy was leaned forward looking at all the text messages. Jane said she found Diddy disgusting, a monster, a PDF file. She was going in on it, right? Listen, they said they were trying to make an inference that she saw Cassie's lawsuit and settlement, but that's Diddy stuff. Everybody know you settled with that girl for multi-millions, and you sit up there acting a fool for the other girl doing your freak offs. You are an idiot. You are a fool, and you get, oh, listen, I got all ones. What does that mean? 11, 11, 1. What does that mean? It means I only got 2,000 likes. Can y'all hit that like button and show me some love on YouTube? Anyway, right? We'll get into like the details in a second, but let me get into this. This is what I do think is really, really weird, okay? The fact that, like, I don't know what Timmy Garagos is trying to do. I think that they actually might be trying to desensitize us to violence, because y'all remember the testimony that Jane did. And I thought it was really, really weird that the way that they're trying to like desensitize us to the violence. Because how can you say that all that stuff was going on and Tinny is walking us through that night of horror when Doris got kicked in and she got beat up, and she's trying to make it seem like it's nothing, but it's super, super weird. Listen to this, right? She was like this, right? She said, again, Tinny seems really uncomfortable. They go to the day of beating, and they show a picture, and they're like, so you said John helped you set up. What did you set up, and what did John set up? And Jane was like, John set up the candles and the lights, red lights. And she's like, and you? She said, I set up champagne and tequila. She said, oh, I got a magnum tequila. I mean, a magnum of champagne. And she's like, yeah, I did, right? Jane was like, well, I did. And she's like, and what else? And I got like 2 shot glasses. Okay. And I got some tequila. So how many glasses come in a magnum of champagne? That's like 12 glasses. And she was like, okay. Again, just because you buy a bottle of wine don't mean you drinking it. It was all for the looks. Can't nobody drink. And not even that, I literally made a note. I said, Dick was your favorite neighborhood crackhead. He literally was the real life version of Tyrone Biggins. You really expect me to believe that that man was going to get twisted? Like literally, you expect me to believe that he was going to get white boy wasted off of some champagne and some tequila? Please. He got Tucci's flowing through his veins. What the F is some tequila going to do? Get out of here, right? So they said that Diddy arrived early, right? He had on a Sean John sweater, right? Also, Teeny, during the cross-examination, I found it odd, had an oddly jovial tone. Like, you know, when he arrived and he was wearing a Sean John sweater, that's the way she would be saying that. And I would be like, we think this man is the Antichrist. This little jovial, like even when she was talking about the stripper shoes, and you said that you like wearing, you know, high heels, like 6 or 7 inches, and these heels were like 3 or 4. Girl, stop. I get what you're saying. You're trying to make it seem like it's no big deal, but you gotta stop the jovial tone because it comes across as really icky, right? So then they're going over the kitchen counter thing, right? And she said, she was like, is it not true that you told the prosecutors that you hit his head medium hard into the counter? And she was like, that much is true, right? And Diddy's sitting there like, yeah, you ain't like when she got that one off, right? And then she said, is this like 30 minutes later after I guess they made a video that you started the fight with Diddy? Now, if that was me, I would have objected. It wasn't a fight. It was an argument, right? Or maybe it was because she already pushed his head. But even then, your head wasn't busted open. You ain't had one bruise, one knot on your head. I get it. Nobody should lay their hands on anyone. But this is what you're doing, right? This is what you're doing to justify an incredible, horrific scene of violence. Okay. They said that, she said, and also, and then she tried some slick shit. She said, oh, here's another screenshot that you took of yourself. And this says it was 3:40 in the morning. So you guys have been drinking, 3:30 in the morning. So you guys have been drinking like 7 hours. So Maureen Coleman was like, objection. I need to meet with defense. And she went and talked to her. And she was like, oh, sorry. There was an issue with the UTC. I think that's a universal time code or whatever, right? The point is, she's like, oh, so if you do it with in LA and blah, 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 that means it was approximately 8:30 p.m. Yeah, Tinny, the story changes when you try to make it seem like they've been drinking 7 hours as opposed to an hour and a half. The story for real changes. Also, Savage Justice, thank you. Said, thank you again for that super chat. Also, the legendary concept for your personal neck fan. Don't forget to order one, Tisa. The humidity is coming. So excited that you earned your success for your integrity. Thank you. And I am getting a personal neck fan. But in the meantime, I got Miss Mamas. Thanks, Melissa. Also, the Pitbull mom said, not double arrested, triple arrested. I don't understand. It's like how literally he gonna get his citizen taken away, double arrested. The whole bloodline is gonna be like, just stop. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm thinking actually really happened. Thank you so much, you guys, for your generous super chats. I'm gonna get to the super chats in a second, but let me just get through this, right? They said that, she said, so how many glasses were sitting there at that point? About 2 glasses, and shot glasses, about 2 glasses. What do you think? We had a party, right? They, again, he was a drug addict. What is the big deal about him? That is the least. That's keeping it light if he can literally go, right? So then they're like, okay, you guys started arguing about Gina and Carisha, and you had a feeling that he was. They said you had a feeling. Hold on, let me get my bag. They said you had a feeling that he was cheating, and she's like, yeah, I did. And I was like, the fact that Tinny is trying to act like victim is out of her mind. You had a feeling he was cheating, and you were right because you found that out later on in the argument, right? So you pushed his head like, she's like, so you pushed his head like medium hard, yeah, and then you threw a candle. A candle? This is it. She said you threw a candle, right? Did it hit him? She said, I don't think so, but I remember the black splattered on his clothes. And I said, they have black candles. Y'all not beating these devil-worshipping allegations. Black candles? For what? For why? Ew. Anyway, right? Anyway, Jane said that she felt a mix of assumption, love, guilt, and resentment. Then Tinny goes into this weird thing about, like, regret. She's like, resentment. So regret and resentment. Finally, Maureen called me. It's like, Honor, objection. And she's like, well, you testified earlier that regret and resentment are the same. And you felt resentment. And she's like, yes, girl, I felt resentment. Okay? Again, what was Tinny trying to prove? It was odd. Anyway, right? She said
she should have asked her, you wanted the Diddy?
Oh, they're back? Okay, hold on. I'm going to speed through this really quick. The Diddy seemed edgy and agitated at the house. She threw the glasses at him. Diddy literally cocked his head back and was looking at one side. And oddly enough, on Diddy's side, like, certain people on the site were sitting at attention and leaving forward. Is this what they taught y'all to do, to let the witness know you're listening? Or maybe they're trying to signal that the witnesses are full of it? I don't know, but it wasn't working. It wasn't him. Whoever did that, like, this is not like 12 Angry Men. I don't know. Listen, I do not know who the PR person is on the ground in Diddy's trial, but they need to send in the big guns because the PR on the ground is doing a horrible job. It makes me think, do they even have PR on the ground? They're just doing, if they do, they're doing a horrible job. And if they don't, they need to actually send somebody in a bigwig to get control of this, because even the people that it seems like are aligned with the pro-Diddy narrative, nobody's credible. Everybody's just like a little, but like this, if you're being called a monster and this and that, do you want to be aligned with those people? It's a bad look. It's a bad look. You need somebody neutral or even somebody respected. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, y'all got all the bottom feeders on your side, but who that actually has even a whiff of integrity is on your side? No one. So what you just
I'm about to
become
close
the
the
poll.
poll.
Maybe there is no PR people on the ground, but if
234 people have voted. If you want to get in on the vote, right? I got 1 minute
so
left.
She was like, so what did you call him? I remember this is Teeny. You said he was disgusting. You called him a PDF file. You called him a monster. And I said, I mean, aside from the PDF file, I think the disgusting part's been proven. I think the monsters part. I literally, when they said that in my head, I'm like,
okay.
Sorry, I thought that was a mosquito. I was like, Jane ate that. She ate that all the way up. She said she also threw a second candle, right? And called him a PDF. She's like, this is Tinny. So you threw a second candle and you called him a PDF file and a monster and a disgusting. And I'm like, what in the world would ever enrage you so much that this person, oh, they started back? Okay, yeah, they actually, okay, listen. Anyway, they were trying to explain why he was kicking through doors, saying he just wanted to talk to you. Again, Tinny was on her bullshit. Let me just finish this and then I'm gonna run back in, all right? She said that you locked yourself in your master bedroom, right? And then Diddy kicked in the door as if that's just something casual that happens in the arguments, right? And then she was like, and you guys were both screaming and yelling. And she was like, well, actually, he kept saying, like, you're not going to not talk to me. So she was screaming, leave, leave, leave. And he would not leave. She was like, and then you went to the bathroom door. It wasn't a heavy lock. It was just a push lock when he kicked the door in. And I was like, do you hear yourself? You were literally saying that it's not that big a deal that a man that has been proven to be violent on multiple videos that are circling around the web and a lawsuit that they settled for $20 million is in your house chasing you through doors like it is The Shining. kicking down doors while you were screaming, get out of my house, leave me alone, get out of my house. You're trying to act like that. He is in her house. Get the F out of my house. How about we start there? And then you can call me and maybe we can argue, right? Tinny even went so far as to say, but you were screaming you hated him, right? What is this, the abuser defense? Then she was like, and you said you went in your closet and you were in a tight dress and then you changed into a loose dress? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, I know, but if you were in your closet, he's like, yeah, he was trying to kick it down. But you seem like you work out a lot. Right? Everybody's like, where are you going with this, girl? And she's like, so why wouldn't you put on a pair of leggings? You just ran from a man that is kicking through your doors and went through 4 doors. I don't care if 2 of them were push locks or not. That's 1 door too many. Screaming, you're not going to talk to me. You're not going to talk to me. And you are running for your life so much you think you have to change and run out the house. And you're asking me why I didn't put on an aloe 2-piece? You telling me why I ain't hit y'all with the hibiscus pink Lululemon set? Are you out of your mind? Like, what's going on? And she was like, oh, girl, I was just trying to run. I really don't know what's going on, right? And she was like, what was he saying? And she was saying, are you not going to talk to me? And she's like, and what were you screaming? She said, I was screaming, I hate you. Leave me alone. Sorry, I hate you. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Stop. He kept calling me crazy. Imagine a man breaking through doors, doing this and that, calling you crazy and yelling, saying, you're not going to not talk to me, right? Anyway, Timmy was like, why didn't you wear leggings? Girl, you could have left this cross-examination. Why didn't I wear leggings? I don't know. I think I feared for my life. Maybe. I don't know, right? She kept screaming, leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone. That's when and get this, that's when he kicks her in the back of the leg. She falls over on her butt. He picks her up in a chokehold. Her little toes are dangling, right? And Timmy interrupts and said, and she's like, and I couldn't breathe. And she's like, but is it not true that you testified to the government that you almost couldn't breathe?
Oh,
Girl, I said I couldn't breathe. And this mofo had me in a chokehold like it was WWE night. And my little toes were dangling off the ground. And I said I couldn't breathe. And you literally sit there and says, well, isn't that true? You told the government that you almost couldn't breathe? All right, girl, you got that. You ate that up, Tinny. Yo, it was nonsensical. Then she was like, there's a video where they're seeing the bruises, and she pauses, and she was like, no bruising around your neck. Yes, usually in chokeholds, this leaves bruising because your fingers, this does not really leave bruising. Doesn't really leave bruising unless you actually, you know? Anyway, then she was like, and then you left your house and you walked a little while, and she was like, no.
I ran.
Mosquito. She's like, no, I actually was hiding. I started sprinting for 10 minutes, and then I was hiding in the bushes. And she's like, oh. So then eventually you came home. And I was like, Tinny, for God's sake.
They do not have a defense case, y'all.
The fact that I feel so much in danger that somebody named me.
They do not have a defense case.
Dark California night, barefoot, sprinting 10 minutes, and you're just trying to make it seem like it's normal? Y'all, listen. She was in her house. She said, so you came back and you called him a monster and PDF file too? You MF him right. You in my house. Monster. PDF file. No good ninja. Take your high 2G ass out of my house. How about that? I'm in my house. You lucky we not in Florida where I can stand my ground. Why are we having an argument about what somebody can do in your house and what somebody can't do in your house? Again, this line of questioning was insane.
They don't have a defense.
And it always puts Diddy in a thing of, right? Mary from Virginia said, love you. Lorraine Wilson Barnes said, T-Sarah, you're my go-to for the Diddy trial. Thanks for all your hard work. Sending love from New Jersey. You're welcome, mama. Also, Angel Lim said, you're so knowledgeable. Thanks for informing us about USA law. Thank you. Megan, thank you for the super chat. Beautiful Donna, not super chat. Beautiful Donna, Megan, thank you for joining the family. Dennis and Garcia, thank you. Mashaya Capel said.
Okay, let's go to the last one of that because y'all don't have my likes up. Let's get to the hour. Let's see what they're saying about Aura.
Team Logic IT can fortify your business with cybersecurity solutions to mitigate risks, such as
Megastar was charged with racketeering and sex trafficking, among other things. And he was convicted 2 times.
I don't know why these people This is the first time they done heard
the
of
walls
it.
closed in on P. Diddy. Music
I know my
megastar
battery
was
low.
charged with racketeering and sex trafficking, among others. And he was convicted 2 times.
Two
R. Kelly
times.
has spent the last 3 years, almost to the day, in a medium security federal prison in Butner, North Carolina. His 2022 trial in Brooklyn ended with a sentence of 30 years. His 2023 trial in Chicago got him 20 years as well. And they're supposed to run mostly at the same time. But now R. Kelly wants out. And
Are
he
you
says his life
crazy?
depends on it. He says that every minute he spends locked up at Butner, he is in danger. And why? The way his lawyers tell it, prison officials want R. Kelly dead.
Okay.
You heard me. The government, they say, has put a target on the singer in prison. And what's more, Kelly's lawyers say the Bureau of Prisons conspired with one of his fellow inmates, a member of the Aryan Brotherhood, to murder him. I'm joined now by Bo Brindley, attorney for R. Kelly. Mr. Brindley, I'm so glad to have you on the show. Thanks so much
How is he still
for being a
alive?
guest. I mean, what I just read, what I just said, it just all sounds very fantastical. Do you have proof?
Well, the answer is we do have proof, and we appreciate the opportunity to be able to come on and talk about it. In terms of proof, the most powerful piece of proof I can provide is the sworn statement of the man who says that he was solicited to kill R. Kelly.
As if he don't
Michael
lie.
Glenn Stein has provided us with a full declaration signed, and he's given his willingness to sit down for a polygraph examination administered by either side to testify.
Okay, then move him to another
He has given
prison.
us the details of who solicited him and when. And
So-
I think that's the
so
key
move
here.
him.
These are not R. Kelly's allegations. These are the allegations being made by Michael Glenn Stein, who's the person who says that he was solicited to kill Robert and sent to Butner to do it from another facility.
Okay, well move him.
And we took
Move him to another
significant
facility.
time. Well, I don't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. I'm trying to put a lot of the pieces of the puzzle together as you're answering. And I'm just confused if this inmate allegedly said that the Bureau of Prisons sought him out to murder a fellow inmate, why?
Well, that's an excellent question, and the answer to that is also pretty clear. Mr. Stein, in his declaration, has set forth the reason that was given. The reason is that Mr. Kelly was about to expose some facts that would be extremely inflammatory and damaging to the Bureau of Prisons and the Department of Justice. And because of that, the Bureau of Prisons instructed Michael Glenn Stein to go to Butner and execute R. Kelly. And Mr. Stein made clear and gave us
Okay, send him to another
extraordinary
prison.
detail when we spoke to Mr. Stein. We didn't use this until we actually went down and met with Mr. Stein for hours. And he told us in extraordinary detail that this is not the first instance, that this happens all the time.
Okay.
That the Aryan Brotherhood has been directed to commit murders and beatings at the behest of prison officials for years. People have been killed.
So he not special. So it's not an isolated case.
And it happens, according to Mr. Stein. Not only will he tell you that it happens, he will explain, when given the opportunity in great detail, all of these murders in which he has participated, which he has directed other Aryan Brotherhood people to do. This being the most
Can I
recent.
ask you to just, like murder's a big deal, right? I think we can all agree on that. And putting a target on someone's head, kind of a last resort. What kind of information are we talking about that allegedly R. Kelly is in possession of that would be unflattering to the government at a level that would, suggest that a hit was put on his head?
Well, let me say it this way: it's not allegedly having evidence. We do have evidence, and one piece of evidence we've already presented in the form of a signed declaration from Keyshawn Mogadamudi, Robert's former cellmate. And what he describes is having been solicited by prosecutors who are offering him a reduced sentence.
Don't do the crime.
In exchange for stealing Mr. Kelly's privileged attorney-client correspondence, funneling it through an identified Bureau of Prisons officer, a corrupt officer, and then that was provided to the U.S. Attorney's Office. This man has made a statement, and both he and Mr. Stein are making statements that are absolutely not in their own personal interest, and yet they've done it anyway. And so we do have that evidence, and what that evidence means is we're talking about prosecutors and Bureau of Prison guards, not just guards, but officials, people that are officers. We're talking about these people committing crimes. The theft of Mr. Kelly's mail was a crime, and it was a violation of his constitutional rights. On top of that, there's another prison guard against which a lawsuit is pending, Tawana Ingram, who also stole other attorney-client.
Don't do the crime.
Let me jump in here.
Don't do the crime.
Because I've been around the block as you have.
Then
as
you
well,
won't
and
have
I
to
had
go
a
to
dime
prison
number of,
and somebody plot to
inmates
take
who
you
lied
out.
under oath,
Period.
on the stand.
He's not the first.
I'd be on a yacht in the Med.
That does
However,
not mean your
suggesting
crime is
that
erased and you come
the
home.
government thinks that this alleged behavior of a
Whether it's true or not.
egregious.
If you would not have did what you did, you would not have been in there.
Sounds a bit crazy. Again, given it would be their word against
Right?
the inmates. So you see where I'm coming
And
from.
it's
That's
it's
why it
if
sounds
inmates don't lie. But whether they do or not, whether it's true or not, you would not have been in there had you not had
solicited to kill
triple
Rkelly
X trafficking,
has come clean and said, I won't do it. I'm going to sing like a canary instead.
forcing people to do stuff that they don't want. Coercion. Stop that. No, it don't erase that. Sit your ass there and learn how to fight.
The threat is the other members of the Aryan Brotherhood, another one of which is
Aryan Brothers been doing stuff like that. That ain't new. He not special. He not isolated.
What we're talking about here
Moving
is
to another
officials
prison.
who committed crimes, and people in the Bureau of Prisons that committed crimes.
Then bring them. Listen. If the government is committing crimes, then bring them up on charges. It don't mean let him out free. He don't get a get out of jail free card because you say allegedly the government is committing a crime. Charge him. Prosecute him. What does that have to do with his 30 years? It's not a get out of free jail card. There are a whole bunch of other inmates in there that's going to testify even before that can testify that the government did the same thing to them. So everybody needs to get out and get on the streets and do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it in the morning. Let's do it again. That's because that's all y'all gonna do. If they let y'all out, y'all gonna do it again. That's why y'all did it for so long. Sit your ass in there. Yeah. And learn how to fight. Fight for your life. Okay, Ira? Ira! Fight for your life. Fight like them little girls was fighting, telling you no. And you was forcing yourself on in there anyway. That's what happened to bad boys. I agree, Didi. The nerve. Now you scared. Now you scared. You just now knowing that somebody was trying to come get that ass. You don't think that some of these people that you done took advantage of, family members trying to get in there to tag that ass. Oh, my bad. I wasn't supposed to say that. Let's go.
And those people have benefited in going after Rkelly and making their names and getting their publicity and all of that. And now the truth is they did it through constitutional violations. They did it through crimes.
Then charge him.
That Tawana Ingram, the Bureau of Prisons officer that stole his correspondence, there was a search warrant. They proved it. And they said
Charge
they were
her.
going to investigate the U.S. Attorney's Office. You know what happened to her? She got her full pension. She walked away, retired, and was not charged. And she did it as an officer.
Well, let me ask you
there
this.
was not corruption.
Oh, well.
I don't understand how that could be.
That's what same thing happened to
Right, and
Tyree
inmate doesn't have
Nichols.
a pension. So what?
Same thing happened to him and the police officers who unalived him. So it ain't nothing
in
new.
prison at the behest of the government. Like what benefit? What do they get?
It depends on the circumstances. But Mr. Stein says is oftentimes what they get is the ability to traffic narcotics freely throughout the facility.
Okay, charge
What they
him.
get is the ability not to be searched. But in this instance, what
It don't
Mr.
have
Stein
nothing to
has
do with
clearly said he
Rkelly.
gets is the opportunity to be free. I mean, they have said to Mr. Stein, according to him, they have said that if he is to do this, he is a terminal cancer patient. He's going to die in the near future. That's a fact.
Who?
And they have said that he will be transferred and he'll get the opportunity to walk away. And Michael Glenn Stein has a history of escaping from Bureau of Prisons. He escaped previously. That's why he spent so long at the ADX Supermax.
Rkelly needs to sit his PDF file ass down and learn how to fight.
At Butner.
You better learn how to fight like your ass can sing.
And the other fact is, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say I'm out of time in this segment. However,
Fight
I'd
like you
to
sing.
keep the conversation going with you. I know you have other, options. You're suggesting that maybe even Donald Trump might consider pardoning Rkelly, though I'm not sure what's in it for Donald Trump. Could you keep me apprised on your efforts to get him, ankle bracelet release and home detention, and
For
your
him to
efforts
lure
in
another
seeking,
young
a
lady.
federal pardon? You keep us apprised on that?
Our mayor.
Absolutely. We're going to seek every opportunity to, one, make sure that Robert Kelly doesn't get killed, and number two, to see that he is freed based on what we believe to be and will prove to be a corrupt prosecution, the kind of which President Trump has promised to eradicate. And I believe he's the only person.
He said that to one person, and now he feel like
Two corrupt prosecutions, or were two separate ones? There were two separate ones.
Yes, but the evidence being
So they were
provided
both
was
corrupt?
absolutely. Both of them received.
Okay, keep me posted. I gotta go,
Yes,
but
absolutely.
Bo Brindley, I really appreciate. Sorry, we have some crosstalk, but I really appreciate this. Keep me posted, and we'll follow the story. Thank you so much.
ain't nobody
Thank you
trying to
very
hear
much.
that.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. Okay, y'all, let me charge my phone up. Ain't nobody trying to hear that.
Yo, I know you've been seeing all the news about the crazy stuff these celebrities are doing.
Oh, yeah, baby, they crazy as hell. They are crazy. Learn how to fight. That's my advice for him. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Learn how to fight. Sing like you sing with all your might. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. Ain't that what he saying? Ain't that what he say? I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind, whether they minors or not. So I suggest you learn how to fight like your ass can sing. And you better sing your ass off, because they coming. You better learn how to fight like you sing. You should have thought about that. And anybody in here that think it's okay, that they don't have a case with that XXX trafficking, I suggest that if you don't know how to protect your right to then you better not follow suit with them. Y'all better learn that no means no at any time. Whether I started out saying yes and change my mind and say no. And that rule don't just apply to men, it applies to females too. If he giving his best stroke and he way off up in there, and you got them legs up to the sky, and you saying, don't stop, daddy, daddy, don't stop. And he stopped. And he said, "No, I don't want to do this no more. Don't you clutch your legs. Don't you..." Oh, Lord. Did I say clutch my legs? Don't do nothing to force that, to make that thing stay up in there. Let it go. Even if you're about to reach the sky. If he say, "No, I don't want to no more. I feel like God's watching me," then you let him go be with the Lord. You don't force nobody when they say no. I don't care how good it is. Let them stop. Same rules apply to men as it does to females. At any time, whether it was good or not, whether I agreed in the beginning or not. Yeah, when your phone ring and you hear another female own voice and you say, I don't want to do that no more. Get your ass up. And he said, no, get your ass up. You better get up. Don't say, well, no, she told me before I got there I could have it. Get up. I'm just trying to help y'all because y'all going to be our. Well, no. Won't nobody believe in pressure. Right, Candace. No means no. Stop. No. I don't care what I said on the phone before you got here. No, stop. Won't nobody believe him. I'm just saying, she hears somebody, Yeah, you mess around and say somebody else's name while he always up in there. I mean, he touching shit you ain't never know somebody could touch. And you fuck around and say somebody else's name. And he said, what you say? And she said, oh, no, don't stop, don't get it. Don't stop, get it. He said, what you say? And he slide out. Don't grip it. Don't lock him in there. He said, it wasn't me, Your Honor. It was my muscles. It was that cookie muscle that locked that ass up. I'm poking y'all, but I'm serious. I'm poking, but I'm serious. I hope people don't get to that point and decide to change their mind. Cause in my right mind, I'm gonna say, oh, you tried to set that man up, or set that woman up. But, you know, cause and nowadays, cause people like to record shit, it's gonna get caught on a recording. Did y'all hear me? It's gonna get caught on the recording. And some egotistic, narcissistic man or female gonna keep that recording as a trophy to go back and look at it. Yeah, I had that whole screaming, no, shit. I was in it to win it. Hi, Lisa. Y'all say I've been here for a while. I know what I'm talking about now. Our AunTeaFee is saying, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe every time. Because these laws have changed. And they going to hook you up and ship your ass up the river. And now you got old Ira singing high notes. Now him scared. I'm scared. What was that song, In the Closet? I want to come out the closet. And run, Isley. Don't want to sing with me no more. Ain't nobody coming to help me out this shit. Now, P. Diddy. Aston. I can't help myself, y'all. Aston, can Ye come save the day? I need a rescue. I need a lifesaver. Can somebody come rescue me who was enjoying the festivities of that white party? Not the first one, but the after party. When it get real good. Can one of y'all come help me? Throw me a life jacket. Cause truth be told, I am sinking, and I'm sinking fast. Thank you, Karen. It's going down. Not down, like down. I mean down, deep down, in the deep end of the waters. Them sharks are swerving around. They going round and round around me. They trying to eat me up. Who is that lady? That AunTeaFee lady who said they was building a sandwich to try to eat my ass up. Woo! They slicing. When I tell you they slicing my ass up. Then I be fucking around trying to help myself and wind up snitching on myself. Yay! Oh, yay! Can you come save the day? Oh, I nearby rot. Oprah, can you help a nickel out? I need a saving grace. I've been picking up this Bible. Y'all told me to find Christ. He not reaching out for me like y'all said he would. I need yay to save the day. He said I helped him. He said I taught him everything he know about traffic. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say. He said I taught him everything he know how to get over with these same circumstances. Can y'all let him help me out? Cause I ain't got no friends. I gotta beg these folks, my kinfolk, these folk I've been helping all they goddamn life to come just to sit behind me. They don't even want to. They's ashamed of the things I've done. Lord, please, I'm sorry. I'm real sorry. I was playing with that one-eyed devil. Woo, that Illuminati, whatever type of knowledge it is. All I know now, it wasn't holy. It wasn't holy. Yeah, and I need a saving grace. Can you let Ye in so he can save my skin? Cause them niggas got a whole bunch of baby all waiting for me. I don't get pleasure out of it like that. I only get pleasure when the girls get banged and I can use my strong hand. What they trying to do to my little old Tootsie Roll? Woo! It just ain't fair that you bless me with this little thing. And I had to get pleasure out of watching them big old bananas from afar. Well, sometimes I get them too. Sometimes but I hope they don't bring that up because they say that's coming next. They say it ain't over till the fat lady sing. And they say that woman still holding her mic. She ain't uttered a word. She says she got some weight to lose. And by the time they finish with me, she ain't gonna wanna sing. And then they gonna find another case. Case after case after case. Y'all know how long they been letting me get away with this shit? Do y'all know how long they been letting me think that I was God all by myself? They set me up. They led me to believe that I was something special and that I had all this power and that I was holding the key to all these people. Yeah, and now they won't stand in defense of me. They won't even accept my cause. Y'all heard KK? I had to keep saying, why you doing this to me? Why are you not answering the phone? I need these people's numbers. You know I'm slow. Y'all know I'm on DRUGS. I don't remember them numbers. I need y'all. I paid you well. Well, no, I didn't, but I tried to act like I was. I didn't tell you that your pay, your 75K was 24 hours. Well, I didn't tell you. I know I was being deceptive, but please forgive me. Can you forgive me and help me out? I need a friend. I need a friend. How do Diddy need a friend? Your parties was packed. They was packed on every level. Why are you begging for a friend? Where your friends at now? Oh, what? Oh, this the good. Oh, you feel like Dame Dash. Jay-Z done left your ass. Now you feel like Dame Dash, cause Jay-Z done left that ass. He done went on. Yeah, he done moved on. He probably trying to get revoked. He probably trying to get all them endorsements that dropped your ass. Oh, you didn't see that coming. Oh, just like Dame Dash. He didn't see it coming. Yeah. Y'all, I'll be back. I'm almost out of you. Hit the like button. Thank you for the super sticker. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Karen. Oh, Lord. They need the Lord now. What's my good old song? If ever, I'm trying to hit the hard. What's my song? If ever you needed the Lord before, you sure do need him now. Y'all want to go out on a song for Ira and Diddy. Yeah. Y'all gonna learn today. Y'all been listening. Everybody who done left y'all hanging. You need to go and put their names on out there. You need to go and tell on that ass. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now. Y'all three amigos. Y'all three amigos. You ain't got no friends. The old girl, KK, didn't even want to. What is that? Who? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And he got these schools and he playing with these kids.
A bunch of artists on your label, which is that you are going to actually give back the publishing rights to a bunch of artists on your label, which is incredible because it's happening at a moment that actually those rights are going for a very high dollar.
He got all these kids behind him, schools and shit.
Into that thinking?
Yeah, right now, I'm a person that's
he does not need to have no school or no kids. Look at these kids, y'all. He's setting them up. He grooming them.
I have to be a part of that evolution to look within.
He grooming them.
When I look within as a business,
take your kids out these schools where they are right now.
The right thing to do, you know. It's contracts that were done, you know, 20, 30 years ago. Things have to evolve, and so I think we all have to look within the corporations, everybody in power, and just us as a people have to look within and do the right thing. So
he got kids, y'all, in these schools.
Reform for the industry and reform for just us as people. You know,
you're an incredible human.
And,
you know,
an incredible human.
We're flanked by this incredible group of students behind us. This is not by accident.
Yes.
Who are these kids behind us? Where are they collected?
This is Dr. Stephen Perry.
Oh, Lord, he done already got him.
So this is Capital Prep. We have Capital Prep Harbor in Connecticut.
That's a school.
It's a school, yes. This is my charter school with Dr. Stephen Perry. Wow. Capital Prep Harbor, the Bronx, and Capital Prep Harlem. Make some noise, y'all. These are my kids.
I mean, it's one of the greatest.
Y'all, that's scary. I ain't gonna even lie. That's scary. Hold on. That's scary to me. I ain't gonna even lie. That's scary. Hold on. I'm trying to get us out. Go out the right way. Cause what is this? What is this? What we saying? Y'all know it gets dirty.
If I'm in prison, I ain't there to pull up on you. You damn sure can't pull up on me. And if your heart aches that much that you want to run it, I can stand and ride up and go to the hole. You can come fill out a visit form, come in the visit room, and I can express myself with you.
Uh-oh.
If I'm in prison, I ain't there to pull up on you. You damn sure can't pull up on me. And if your heart aches that much,
this is what they're saying.
If you want to run it, I can stand and ride up and go to the hole. You can come fill out a visit form, come in the visit room, and I can express myself with you. If I'm in prison, I ain't there to pull up on you. You damn sure can't pull up on me. And if your heart aches that much,
y'all, it's getting deep. It's getting deep off in that prison, ain't it? Hold on, I'm trying to send us out on I'm trying to send us out right, because these people are trying to act like they need the Lord right now. If ever you needed the Lord before, you sure do need him now, baby, because y'all done played the devil's game. Y'all done played with the devil. You made deals with the devil, and the devil done left your ass hanging. I don't know how else to say it. So I'm trying to give y'all a little grace, but heck, I can't find it. I tried to save it for today. Bigger than music. Oh, okay, no. No, I don't want that one. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to go out. Come on. I know I sent it. I know I sent it. They need the Lord. They don't play with the devil. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. They need the Lord to reign. Hey, Prince Arch Lily. Did I make you laugh, Karen? Thank you. Yeah. I preached the sermon, y'all. Come on, y'all. Rain. 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 Come on. Rain down on me. Rain down on him. Woo! Did we need that, y'all? Did we need that? They need to let the rain. One more time. Let's go! Rain down on me. Let's go! It's very low. I gotta go, y'all. Hit the like button on the way out. Rain down on me. Rain down on me. Fill me with your precious Holy Ghost. Rain down on me. Rain. 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 Y'all have, I'll be back later.